There are so many people, as you know, the way our culture is, it's always been this way, but it's become so much more so. So many people would give everything they have, they'd sell their soul to the devil to have any section of your career. You know, the first section of your career, they would take any part of it and they would give everything away. And what is very clear is that you had this really unprecedented success that you managed to keep leveling up to the next level. And you were clearly determined to not become this two-dimensional image to people. You wanted to be who you really are. And of course, in this first part of your career, you know, Laugh-In and some of the early movies, people could say, yeah, she is the giggly girl, she's the giggly blonde, and they could label you as that. And you were very determined to say, that's not who I am. And I'm going to take some dramatic roles. I'm going to produce. I'm going to do this other stuff. But it felt to me like that is an act of will. That's a very strong act of will to say, no. Plenty of people would be very happy with that. Plenty of people would be very happy to be the person who was a huge star and laughing and playing that one role. And so where does that come from? Where does that sense of you that says, I'm not going to do that, and in fact, we're going to do things this way?
I think it's part of my nature. I mean, I went to New York at 18 and was left off on 10th Avenue and had no place to stay because the people there actually left for summer. And I'm going, wait a minute, I'm in New York. I got a little suitcase and a thing. I was dancing at the World's Fair, so I had a job. I was there. So being a dancer, number one, since 3 years old.
And you thought of yourself and still think of yourself as a dancer.
As a dancer, wow. Exactly. Yeah. It's because it's a lesson in life. And dancing was not only understanding where your body was at every moment, but man, we worked hard. And when we danced hard. When we worked out, we were going to do whatever we could do in order to get better. That was it. Okay, so it was like an athlete, all right? Mm-hmm. So you build up what I say grit, real grit, because you fall, and dancers obviously, aside from training, they were the low end of the totem pole in every musical everywhere because the singers got this thing and the payment and we broke our ass, okay, no matter what. But I like that I got the grit. I liked it. So when I went off to New York to do this, I went off, of course, not thinking I'd ever come home again, but I literally did it because I believed I could. Got the audition, go there, can't find a place to live. What do? Call home? No. I decided to move in for a little bit with my dance instructor and the choreographer, which was a bad idea because I woke up one night with a vibrator, okay? And the vibrator was not in a good spot. Oh. And I literally said, so, Phil, this isn't going to work. So maybe I need to find an apartment. So I found an apartment.
I left my body. Did anyone else leave their body? I think I left my body and I went into your body.
Yeah, and I'm in you, and
you're in my body.
I don't want to be there.
No, but you're impressed at my muscle mass.
I'm thinking about it.
Sona went into Goldie's body. Yes. Goldie said, "Get out of my body.
No, I love it
this
here.
Is not a good place.
I want to stay there."
So you wake up. Vibrator, not in a good place. And you say, I think this isn't going to work.
That's right. I mean, I was quite sure it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a certainty that comes when a vibrator is in the wrong area. Anyway, continue, please.
Yes, exactly.
Continue with this cross-examination.
Yeah, that's a binary decision.
Decisions get made very quickly that way. Okay. Now, I went out and I got an apartment, right? Now, I'm just saying this only because you don't go home again. You fight for what you believe in. It is nobody's going to take care of you. You're going to take care of yourself, which I was fine. So I went to basically 70th Street, and I found a one-room apartment, a lot of roaches, 7 police locks. It was on the door, and a guy below, a man, I would say, was a junk dealer. So he had like people lying in the hallway having been shot up. Now I'm from a dead end street in Maryland, right? And I thought I went and got the police. And the police, which I said, because I saw him come over and he looked at her. I pulled him. I said, this isn't good. Now, I just moved into the apartment. I'm already telling the police what to do.
Right.
And the police said, come on, Deirdre, let's go. Come on, Deirdre. And she was one that had just, gotten a fix somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I was scared of Deirdre because Deirdre was like in that, doing that. And then one day I walked out because I was much more afraid in my building than I was outside. I mean, it was like that. And I was walking up the street and sure enough, she's following me.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. So now she's following me, now I'm freaked out, right? Remember, I'm 19 now. And I go into some coffee shop and I sit down and I talk to the guy next to me. And I said, no, see that girl? She's got her nose against the thing and she's looking after me and I'm scared of her. He said, listen, why don't you come to my office? I'm a chiropractor. And you can sit there for a while and feel comfortable. So I said, okay, that would be great. So he pulls his car around and I go to New Jersey to his chiropractor.
Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't sound on the level.
What?
I have many times said to women, I'm a chiropractor, come with me. And I have no license. And it's, ladies, don't listen. So was it okay?
After I was sitting in his waiting room for like an hour, I said, I have to get back to the city. I mean, I can't stay here, And then eventually it was like he drove me back to the city. I said, gee, thanks. That was really great. All I asked for was a little comfort, from this guy.
Yeah.
But I thought that I could take solace in his his office for a while. No. I drove over the George Washington Bridge. I mean, it was like I was being kidnapped.
Oh my God.
I trusted everybody.
Yeah,
because,
that's a bad story. I mean,
I have a worse story.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a worse story. So when I came to New York in May, I got this roach-infested apartment, and I then went to a bathing suit tryout, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a bag. My bag was bigger than me, and I had my bathing suits in there, and I met this guy wanting to go on the subway, and I met this guy who seemed to be a very nice guy. He said, I got to stop you for a minute. I've got to stop you. Look, you're not going to believe me. I'm not putting the make on you or anything. He said, look, I've got a watch here. I'm going with Tuesday Weld, who happened to be at that time in the 60s, like a big deal. And it says, I love you, Tuesday on it. And I went, oh, I said, oh, okay. He said, but here's the deal. Al Cap. Now I'm standing on a corner.
Mm-hmm.
Al Cap just created a television series out of Lil Abner. It's going on to TV, NBC. But you look like just amazing character that he created called Tenderleaf Erickson.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is that, you have an interesting face. And I thought, I do have an interesting face. I don't call it a beautiful face, but, big eyes. And so I thought I probably look a little strange, but he didn't say to me, you look great, you're gorgeous. No, I have an interesting face. So I believed him. Then he said to me, look, I want to give you a script. I want you to take a look at this. And if you need a ride, because I've stopped you, I've got a car. I'll drop you off at the, wherever you are, to the audition, which was, I don't know, Madison and something. And I'd just been in New York. So this is not even a month. And my job is basically, in Flushing, because I was at the World's Fair. So I was doing can on top of a bar at the Texas Pavilion. So anyway, now I sort of, he called me a little bit and warmed me up. And, it was like, it's cute. He gives me a script. And then I said, this is awesome. And he said, I want you to talk to Al Cap. He's getting an award, like Man of the Year award in Kansas City or some university. And I talked to him. And he sounded very nice. I'm really looking forward to meeting you. And I called Mom and Dad and I went, this is so great. I mean, this will be great. I'm nervous about it, but now the time comes. And I get into a cab and I go over to Fifth Avenue, an apartment. Like I'm going, oh my God, from Roach City all the way up to the Fifth Avenue apartment. And I went in, they're expecting me. I get in the elevator, and then the butler comes out, and he says, "Oh, Goldie, we've been waiting for you. Wonderful welcome." And I sit down in his lovely apartment, and he said, "Mr. Cap is not here yet." He said, "But he likes his women to pour his tea." Okay, that was a moment. Then he brings out a 400-pound sterling silver tea set with tea in it. And now I'm sitting there looking at the teapot and wondering if I even had the fulcrum to be able to lift the teapot to know how to pour it into the cup. I had to do this with my elbow, because, come on. Then he comes in. Goldie. How lovely to see you. I'll be right back. Goes into his room. He comes back in a dressing gown. He limped a little. So then he sits down. We have a conversation. I then started getting worried about his ladies pouring his tea. So I explained to him that I just got here from New York and I've been dancing and I've got a really good family. And I wanted him to think well of me. So I wasn't one of those girls. And I told him that, my mom, daddy was really interested in me working. He was such support. But, my mom really wanted me to end up marrying a Jewish dentist. And that's kind of the way it worked, right? And so that was great. And he said, well, okay. So now I'm reading for him. He was very legit. He said, look, you're projecting too much. So remember, there's microphones. And now I'm reading this part. I don't remember who she was. And then he said, now I'd like you to go over to the end of the room. And I want you just make me the camera so I can get an idea. And just, look a little stupid. I mean, look kind of, like you're just and like an imbecile. So now I'm trying to, work on this and going, okay, I have to look like an imbecile. So I'm going to take the beads and put it out on my mouth. I had like pop beads on, it was 60. Mm-hmm. And I put them in my mouth and I walked toward him and looked just stupid. I mean, I was just trying to look like, what is that little thing? And now I'm looking at him, and now he said to me, now, you know what? You could play Daisy May. Now, I did Little Abner in school. I know that play backwards and forwards, all the music. No, I was not Daisy May. She's very buxom, shorts, really sexy, one of those. And so I thought, this is weird. So he said, I'd like to see your legs.
Oh my God. So
I went over by this smoky mirror. And now keep in mind, dancers are not shy. I mean, we dance with, things on and whatever. So when you're dancing and you're doing go-go, which I did, I danced on tables too, is that you shake it, you do it, you have like high-cut leotards and you change in the thing and the wings, you're fine. You got your underpants on, you're covered, whatever. So I wasn't shy, but I was dubious. And so now I know exactly what I was wearing. It's amazing when you have these moments. It was a pink knit, maybe mini, beginning mini, not much, just over the top of the knees. And now I pull my skirt up just a little bit. He said, more. So I pulled it up another inch. And he said, higher. And I said, no, that's it. I'm done. He said, okay. He said, Goldie, come on over here. So I go over. He has now taken out his penis. It was, I'm telling you, it was not a pretty picture. I mean, I love penises, but this was not a good one. And it was flipped over his situation. It basically was a wooden leg. So he limped. And the reason is that, he had a wooden leg. Bless his heart, he didn't have a thing. But he did have another leg. And that leg, he said, now come over here and give me a little kiss. And I looked at him. I looked at his other limb. I looked at his wooden leg. I came back and I said, Mr. Cap, I will never get a job like this.
Wow.
I will never do that. He said, well, I've had them all. You're going to go nowhere in this business. I've had them all. You name it. He said, so it's done. And I said, okay. And I was upset but I was getting it on the way, so I got it, And then I said, okay, I said, I better get going because I'm going to be late for my work at the World's Fair. And he threw $20 at me and he said, take a cab. And I went out there and I went there. I did all my show. That was a huge show we did. It wasn't just a can-can. It was 40 minutes of dancing straight. I mean, truly hard. And I'm trying to shake the fringe. It's black fringe. I'm trying to do all this stuff. And I was like bereaved. The fella that I had been seeing a bit was down below. Basically, was the bartender. He cut and he said, listen, let me take you out for a drink. Now, I said, okay. So we went back to the Endive, which was just by the 59th Street Bridge. And it was basically a bar. And I sat there at the bar and one of his friends came up. His friend had a car. And it was about 2:30 in the morning. And we was driving us home. And we go on West Side Highway. And this is all in one day. We were pushed over by a taxi cab into a light pole. At that time, the West Side Highway was horrible. And we crashed. I saw it coming. I went underneath the dashboard. It was no bucket seats in those days, no seat belts. I was in the middle. The two guys were on either side of me. We hit this light pole. I was knocked out. I remember that there was somebody pulling at me and asking, is she alive? And they cut everything to try to get to me. The boys, I don't know what was happening to the boys. They took me to the hospital, the ambulance, I guess. I don't remember any of it. And I woke up with a nurse trying to get x-rays and, I vomited all over her. And she was so mean, by the way. She said, you just had the dry heaves, and then of course I didn't. And now my friend came in. He had a gash on his nose. The other fellow that was driving had a gash in his knee. I had a little gash in my leg and a concussion. Only God could have saved us from that. Only God. And as it turned out, to end this particular story, I woke up in my apartment that I do not remember going into. I woke up to the phone ringing, and it happened to be this fella. He said,
the one who connected you
yes,
to
the
Al
young
Cap.
guy.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
So Peter said, you fucked everything up, didn't you? I told you to be nice to him. I told you to do this, and you fucked everything up. And I said, Peter, go back to Tuesday Weld and leave me alone.
Jesus.
I then made it to the bathroom. I was so dizzy. I threw up again. And then I realized I had nobody in New York. I didn't have, the only number I had, the new number I had was his. So I picked up the phone, and by the grace of God, I remembered that number. And I called him back up and I said, Peter, I'm sorry, but I was in a really bad accident last night. And I'm alone. And he was just horrified. He hung up. He came to my house. He lived right down the street to my apartment. And he had roses. And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. He said, I'm just a pimp for Al Cap, and you're such a nice person. Oh, he took me to the hospital.
He admitted it?
Yes.
Said, wow. Whoa.
Yes. And he was 26 years old. And I was 19. So he was a kid. After that, my mom came for 2 weeks. And then until I started, feeling better. I'm going to jump to something really crazy right now because it'll end the story, truly end the story. When I go places, I like to see holy places. I like to see people who might have a gift of the future. I'm interested in all the things like you said. And so I was now with Kurt. We had made Protocol. Kurt had made another movie. We decided to go to Nepal, do some hiking, came back, went to Thailand. And now we're in Thailand. And I said to someone that we had met there I would love to find someone, a psychic or something. So we went to all the beautiful places, but we went and met this guy. His name was Sonny, young man. He sat down at a Thai restaurant where we met him. And he's looking at me, looking at all the things he starts writing. They were all geometrics. And he looked at me and he said, did you almost die when you were around 19? And I said, no, I didn't. He said, it's written. You just think back. And then I remembered my accident. And I remembered that I left my body and saw, I got the chills, and saw myself being pulled out and all of that. And I thought, I wonder if that was meant to happen. And then I went back to my body, because I then said to him, I said, no, actually, I was in a really bad accident. Ah, he said, because it says that your life changed very quickly after that. And I did. I went to LA. I got a job in LA. I cut my hair. I went to I danced in Vegas. Next thing I come back, I'm excited. I got a job dancing on the Andy Griffith and show and thing. And I was like home free. And it was amazing. And I was going to be used. Nick Castle was a choreographer. I'm going to use you in everything. And so an agent comes up to me on the show, services the shows. And I was just with 12 beautiful girls. And he asked me, do you have an agent? And I said, I don't really. And he said, I'd like to talk to you. And of course, do I trust men at that point? Not really. So I figured it was just that guy. It was like, I'm not really, I'm going to the William Morris office. You got to be kidding. They called, are you coming? We're expecting you, whatever. This is after the show is over. And I said, you mean this is real? You mean he really does want to see me? And well, you get over here, we're at William Morris. We're all waiting for you. And so I get in my car, which, by the way, the car was like 54 Ford, and every time I made a right-hand turn, the left-hand door opened. So, so
it's kind of a signal. It works like a signal.
I mean, I used to, just one hand make a right-hand turn. I couldn't do left hands or that, I get up there, I go to William Morris, they're all sitting there, and all the agents are sitting there, and they're just adorable. They're all, they all have Jaguars, is all I can say. They all had Jaguars. And they were sitting there, and then this young agent said, I have a feeling about her. Cut to. They said, well, if you sign her, go ahead and sign her if you believe in her, And I don't say a word. So now, next thing I know, you put me up for this thing. Oh, she's too young for that. She shouldn't be in that. He said, I just want them to see her. Now, this was, Persky and Danoff. These are all, big people, big funny people. And this was a three camera show. I go in there, I do the audition, I come out, I go home. My agent called, my new agent, and he said, you got the part.
Is this Good Morning World?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I have a brother, Neil, and my listeners are probably familiar with Neil, and he knows everything about television, especially 60s, 70s, everything. And he's always bringing up the thing that you don't expect him to say. And so I say, I'm really excited because I'm going to talk to Goldie Hawn tomorrow. And he went, oh my God, because he loves you. And he's like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's fantastic. And there's 75 things that are huge hits that people associate with Goldie Hawn. And he says, ask her about Good Morning World.
Oh my God!
With Ronnie Shell.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, what? And he went, yes. Oh my God, Good Morning World. I have all 9 episodes. And I said, you know what? I might. And then I'm thinking, no, I'm not. And then you bring me, like you say, there's a magic in the world.
Exactly.
So I know about the sitcom you got that was before you got Laugh-In,
exactly,
which turned you which blew up crazily. Yeah.
I mean, really, that is so insane.
But the fact that my brother Neil, he's always doing that. If I said, "Oh, I'm going to go see Jane Fonda," he'll say, "Well, ask her about, the time that she was on Have Gun Will Travel as a 13-year-old opposite Burt Mustin," and I'll be like, "What? Oh yeah, no, 1959. She was great. She said, help, get the sheriff." I'm like, what? Well, how about all the other shit Jane Fonda did? Oh, yeah, okay, you can ask her about that. But anyway, that's so cool that you brought that up.
Nobody knows about that.
Neil does.
I mean, now one person
God
knows.
bless you, Neil, yeah.
Oh, my God.
But, everything you're talking about, first of all, we live in this new reality now, thank God, I hope, where everything that happened to you is crazily actionable. We'd like to think that that's over, but the fact that that was just a part of the life of 19-year-old attractive blonde who comes from a really good family and is just trying to make it, and that's that happens. Oh yeah, well that's just part of it, is absolutely insane and kind of devastating. That was just a regular part of the world.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was like my mother wrote me a letter and she said, "I'm very happy, sweetheart, but remember, only you can make people care about you. Your producers don't matter. And there's this little thing called the casting couch."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Just be aware of that, because the one person that has to make it is you. You have to be prepared. You have to be good enough to know that you'll be the one that the audience will applaud. It's not about your producer." So I had a work ethic.
Yeah.
I also, a year later, just as a coda to this story, a guy stops me on 8th Avenue as I'm going down to another audition. He stops me. His name is Jeff Tuffler. And he said, "Stop. Listen, I gotta tell you something. You look like a character that Al Cap just created, and I want to talk to you about it."
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
And I yelled at him. And I said, "Don't come to me with that. I know exactly who you are. I was taken by another pimp just like you." I said, "So I'm not interested." And he said, "Can I buy you a hamburger?" And I said, "Yes," because I didn't have any money.
Yeah. You always say yes to a hamburger.
I mean, please,
Yeah.
when do you turn that down?
Yeah.
So while I was eating the hamburger, I said, "I just want to say one thing to you. I live at 888th Avenue, and you put a contract in my mailbox because I'm not doing this." I then go to audition to be a Copa girl, and there he is. And I went over to him and I said, "I'm telling every girl here who you are."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when we have ethics, those are ethics. Those
Yes.
are stand up and be counted.
Yeah.
And I was fearless about what I believe to be ethical and true. And I guess at the end of the day, it's who we are.
Yeah.
It's who we are.
What is your middle name, Matt Gorley? You are Matt Eustace
James. Matthew
Matt
James Gorley.
Eustacius Gorley.
No. Matthew
yes.
James Gorley.
Matt Eustace Hezekiah Gorley. What is that? What do you got there?
Is that the shusher?
That's a baby shusher, yeah.
What is that?
I have one. Two of those.
What is that?
It's just something you put next to your baby to try to get it be quiet, and it just shushes them. And so I'm shushing you.
Why don't you just go shush? That's all it's doing. It's doing what
Because
you
then
could do.
Can just go out. You and your wife can go out get food and leave this behind.
Well, why don't you just get like a Michelin tire, put an ice pick through it, and let it hiss at your baby while you and your wife hit the bar scene. I don't understand why you need that thing. That thing seems, and that's not comforting. That's.
Yeah, there's a reason it's in here with me and not being used.
Yeah, that thing's
we don't use it
terrible.
either.
It looks like a salt and pepper shaker.
Yeah.
But when you turn the knob, it makes your baby think that there's an asp in the bed with it, ready to strike at her jugular. That's terrible.
Well, I think he was using it now for a different reason.
Yeah,
and it
was.
wasn't working.
No, I can talk right through that. I don't need that. That wouldn't have worked in my house growing up. Let me tell you, 6 Irish apes running around, smashing into each other.
Red-headed orangutans.
No, I was the only redhead, but I was a redheaded orangutan with 5 other apes, all of us smashing and crashing into each other in a confined space. My father, of course, always at the lab. He'd always say, "Well,
Sure. The
I've gotta
lab
go
is
to
a
the-
cocktail bar.
Yes, exactly.
He wasn't even
Trust
a
me.
doctor.
Trust me, he's not even a
The
doctor.
lab.
He bought a white coat. He took a white coat off of an ice cream vendor and said he was a doctor and was just gone all the time. And my poor mother would just be trying to get us all to be quiet and just settle down. And nothing ever worked.
You know what I'm picturing? You know that scene in Zoolander where they're like jumping on the computer, trying to open it up, and they're just a bunch of monkeys?
Yeah.
I just picture 6 of those just running around, jumping on things and making weird, like grunting noises.
Yeah. No, it was my mom did everything she could to get us to settle down, and it didn't work. And once my mother and father, they never got to go out to dinner. First of all, in Boston in the 70s, I think there was one restaurant within 30 miles of our house, and it was
it something like the Jolly Roger? Or something
exactly.
Like
It had, and it was this restaurant it was Tony's Italian Villa, and it was
not even a restaurant,
and it was on Route 9. Tony's Italian Villa.
His house.
Tony's Italian Villa was on Route 9. And my poor folks, it was the one restaurant they could take us to, and they could afford it because we'd all cram into one booth, and it had one of those mini jukeboxes at the end of the table, one of those mini ones.
Yeah, nothing says Italian restaurant like a mini jukebox.
And my brother would always put whatever it was back then, a nickel into it, and play American Pie because the song lasted longer than any other song. So I was sitting there at Tony's Italian Villa, which, by the way, had these terrible paintings on the wall of like the Parthenon and Anthony Quinn and Zach Galifianakis.
All Greek.
Yeah, anything Greek. Mike Dukakis, Olympia Dukakis, Mount Dukakis. And we'd sit there and you'd hear, and I just associate them. They served one thing, which was pizza. They'd bring us a pizza, and we'd each get one soda. We were allowed one soda. We never got to drink soda because my dad's a doctor. We never got to drink soda except when we went to Tony's Italian Villa. And we each got one soda, and the nickel would go in. A long, long time ago, I can still remember. And you'd be like, oh my God, here we go. This song goes on for 9 minutes. And Neil would say, yeah, but it's a nickel.
Did he want to get his nickels worth? That's why? He just wanted as much.
So every time was like, and I didn't know what possible. It was Chevy to the levee, and I didn't know what a levee was. And I remember I'd sit there waiting for the pizza, which we always got. And we'd each get our one Coke, which wasn't very much Coke. It was a narrow glass. And I'll never forget the time my brother Neil said, hey, I'll race you to see who can drink their Coke first. And I went, okay. And he said, go. And I just inhaled the Coke instantly. And Neil didn't even take a sip.
Oh, brutal.
And my Coke for not just the week, maybe the month was gone. And Neil was just laughing at me with these.
That is brutal.
With his, and he had a big donkey laugh. He was like, and then I heard, drove my Chevy to the levee, and then a guy would come over and be like, you want your pizza pie? You're like, can you at least pretend to be Italian?
This story has somehow depressed me.
It really is.
Guess what? I still, whenever I go back and see my parents, I always, if I'm driving in, from anywhere, and I'm driving on Route 9, I pass the building that used to be Tony's Italian Villa because it's long gone.
A long
time ago, I can still remember when Olympia Dukakis was on the wall. And the 3 men I admired most,
the Father, the Son, and the garlic toast.
They looked a bit in dim light like Donnie Most.
The day the pizza pied. Sona, do you want to leave?
I have to go.
I wanted you guys to understand my childhood.
Okay, I have something very tangentially Oscars related, which I don't think I've said on mic how great a job you did on.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I had a really good time.
The Oscars are big in our family. It's like the Super Bowl. And my wife sat down with my daughter to do a little arts and crafts, and they decided that they would try to predict what all of the famous people would be wearing at the Oscars.
Interesting.
Okay, and so I just want to show you.
Because your daughter is quite young.
She's 3.5.
3.5, okay.
And so is my wife.
Yeah.
All right. And this is what my wife did for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Okay, I just want to show this. And so
wait a minute.
Pretty
that
close.
They were wearing very architectural dresses.
Look at this.
That's insane.
And so now I'm living with a woman who is convinced she's psychic. And I don't believe in that kind of stuff. But now I have to say, I don't know what's real anymore.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
The fact that your wife did that prior to the Oscars and seeing what they were going to wear.
Before.
Okay, I'm going to say this. That is eerie. That is eerily close. Unless Is she someone who pays attention to how they normally?
No, not at all. She had
Okay.
no idea. She just took a guess. I think she was going kind of off their Wicked characters a little
Yeah.
bit, but isn't this
Is it
incredible?
mean if I say she draws like a 10-year-old?
Yes,
Too? Okay,
yes.
okay, yeah.
It certainly
Okay.
is.
Yeah, it's
I thought those
like
were pretty good.
Yeah. You do?
Well, wait till you see how my daughter draws.
Oh, I thought those were your daughters.
I mean, no offense to Amanda.
No, but also you were up close because I got you some seats.
Yeah,
I
you
hooked
did.
you up.
Yeah, you hooked me up.
And you could see Ariana Grande trying to sit in that dress.
Yes.
And
Oh,
she
really?
had to. It was not easy.
She had to, I think, sit
Yeah.
on the edge of the seat because it
Either of
was.
She
those.
couldn't recline.
No, those are not sitting dresses.
Yeah.
No, these ain't sitting dresses.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, we'll stay on topic. Okay.
Well, that's it for that. But this came up earlier about Ralph Fiennes. This is my daughter's prediction of what Ralph Fiennes would be wearing.
Again, spot on.
She says that's his little hat.
Okay.
But then this is where it gets pretty interesting. This is Zoe Saldana.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And my favorite here, Adrian Brody, and she pointed out what all of the pieces are here.
Oh.
Little bow,
Yeah.
hair, bum.
That's his butt, and a toot coming out.
Oh, a fart.
He poopies and potty,
Uh-huh.
and he does go pee
Pee
pee.
pee. Is it
Wow.
his pee pee or he's pee-peeing?
I think he's, I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you on
Okay,
that.
Can
all
I
right.
say-
Yeah, I'd like to.
Can I say I
clarify.
was backstage when all that was going down
Yeah.
with Adrian Brody, and all of that happened.
Yeah.
This
You
is
saw Bum
accurate.
Bum
Yeah, we
and
were
Toot
hosing
coming
that.
out?
We were hosing that place down.
He was pooping in the
afterwards.
potty and he had the pee pee.
We all heard it the first time. We're good. We don't need your recital of the facts. So I think that's pretty impressive.
This is crazy, right?
I think that's crazy that your wife was able to do that.
Look at that.
We should do this. We should predict what
Yeah.
people are
I-
going to wear and stuff.
We
I-
do it here around for certain guests.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
we
that's
do
right. We
do
should talk
that.
about this.
What's this?
That's
I
right.
didn't. Well,
Yeah.
Eduardo,
You're
please
not
speak your
involved
truth.
in
I'm not
this.
involved in
There's
this.
kind
Speak
of
your
like an
truth.
office pool that
Right.
happens for certain guests.
Okay.
I'd say the AAA listers,
Right.
where the office around here starts to guess and wonder what they're going to come in dressed
To
like.
my recollection, it was Goldie Hawn, Jane Fonda, and Al Pacino.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's guesses. So we already kind of.
How close did you come?
I'm not good at this game.
Yeah.
But there's other people within the office that are.
So those aren't the only 3 AAA listeners.
No,
No,
they,
but
you
they're
just
only
Those are the
three-
only ones we did.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nobody got Goldie Hawn because she came in like a body glove wetsuit or something like that. Remember? She had like
Was it a wetsuit?
No, it wasn't a wetsuit, but it was like a sport tank top or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something.
It
almost
was
like
very
a swimsuit.
beachy.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair to her, she came right from deep diving
That's
for pearls without a tank. I mean, she came right from that and brought us all fresh pearls.
Yeah.
She was amazing, by the way,
She
Goldie
was.
Hawn. If you have not listened to her interview, check it out. Because I loved talking to her.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
And
her
she
her
looked amazing.
memory of things that happened to her when she first moved to New York in
Yeah.
the 60s, and she didn't have a place to live yet. It was, and she talked about all of it as if it happened yesterday.
I know.
The
It was
imagery and
so
everything
cool.
was incredible.
I love her so much.
Mhm.
I mean, Ruthie's the one who's kind of spearheading it, and she goes around,
And makes people
makes
guess
a list of
what
what people are going to dress
Do
up.
people ever guess what I'm going to be wearing when I come in?
No one ever talks about you.
That's weird.
You just never come up.
I guess it's because I'm so ubiquitous.
I think they forget that you do this podcast sometimes.
Also, I tend to wear the same thing a lot.
You do.
I have a kind
Not-
I have kind of a uniform.
You're like a Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
You know what
in
I
my
mean?
ability to lead the world of tech.
No.
No.
I meant like just like wearing the same stuff a lot.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
meant
yeah,
the
yeah.
other way in which
But this works.
yeah.
Sometimes we
The
guess
hoodie
what
with the
mood
blazer.
you'll come in.
Yes.
Oh.
That's true.
I mean, cartoonishly
Yeah.
hyperactive.
Yeah, just
versus what?
Scale of 1 through 10, maybe like how
How high out the knob will be turned up?
how
Yeah.
bitty you might be.
Bitty.
Or,
Where are we today?
I think today's like I find a tendency that when we haven't recorded in a while,
Yes.
there's like this freshness and there's like a layer that's
Pent
like,
up bits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Pent
also
up
like
bits.
also just friendlier.
That's
like-
true.
Like
Yeah.
he's happy
Yeah.
to see everyone.
I'm worried
Uh,
about next week because we have 4 sessions on
Me
the book,
too.
and by Friday he's just going to be beating us.
Well, I don't physically. Yes, I do physically beat you. I'm sorry, and that's probably wrong. And I shouldn't admit to that on mic. But Yes, it is true. I was away from you guys. I've been up in Seattle, visiting my in-laws with my wife, and love Seattle. Shout out to Seattle, and shout out to Pam and Jake Powell.
Seattle.
Powells. You're wearing your Seahawks
Seattle Mariners.
Starbucks. Oh, that's the Mariners.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Microsoft. it doesn't work the same way.
Boeing.
Needles, space or otherwise.
Amazon. Oops.
Anyway,
Go Wolves!
yeah, had a wonderful time with the Powells, as I always do, and I really love Seattle. But what happened after being away for like 8 days is I do miss you guys, and I do miss this total assery that we engage in. I don't know what else to call it.
That's accurate.
Foolishness. So I come in and I'm doing it's bits right away.
It's right away.
Then when we do a bunch of shows in a row, towards the end, I feel like one of those, jackpot machines with just that it's been pulling on the handle again and again and again and again. And there's no coins left. And then I want everyone to fuck off.
There he is.
There he is. All right. This was just a segment. So there's no, I just looked down. Am I introducing? I don't know how this podcast works.
No, you don't.
We won't be doing it for 5 years.
Oh.
Wrap
You
it
know
up.
what? Can I talk about something that you don't know how it works that would help me in editing? Is every time when you do the intro and you say, these are my guests, blah, 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 and then you say their name is the last thing you say.
Mm-hmm.
I really need a pause there because there's a musical break between that. And I always have to find a strange
Okay, that
edit.
helps me.
Yeah.
That's constructive criticism.
That's right. No, it's nothing you're doing wrong. You didn't
Well,
know, but I just didn't want to try to explain that
It's
to you,
been
but I don't know why.
5 years. And you've never, ever, ever thought to maybe just suggest to me you're that afraid of me?
And that's on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I had a guest that I could introduce right now because I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it in the future.
Okay. Do you want
Okay.
to just try it again with their names one more time?
Sure. With
Even
Christina
though it's the end of the episode.
and Jamie Lynn? Sure. My guest today hosts the podcast Messy, which releases new episodes every Tuesday, wherever you get your podcast. I'm very excited they're here today.
Oh, man. Oh. Oh.
Christina Applegate and Jamie Lynn Sigler. Hey there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. We have a very special episode today. Big, massive star. I'd say maybe one of the biggest, one of the most iconic faces of the last easily 50 years of film, Harrison Ford. And he was on the podcast. And there was some concern because everyone's a Harrison Ford fan, everybody. But Gorley takes it to this other level. I think the words creepy come to mind. You idolize the man, and I was worried that you wouldn't behave yourself, Matt, or you might soil yourself or embarrass yourself in some way. And I want to applaud you because I thought you handled yourself with aplomb in this.
Yeah, we talked about this on an earlier episode, and I think everything went really well, so much so that I think it's safe to say that he and I are friends.
Well, I'd like to see you try and cash that check. It would be fun to watch you escorted off the Ford estate by nine robotic security guards,
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, exactly. I would pay anything to see you tossed out of his house, like a drunk in an old movie gets tossed out of a bar, and they just grab you by the pants and throw you out.
I don't know why we can't just leave it as fact. We don't need to test it. It just is. He and I are buddies.
Did you guys exchange numbers?
No, but we didn't need to because
Okay.
I think we're beyond that.
How are you? How
No.
can you be beyond? That's
you're
a
not-
big part of friendship.
Yeah, you're not beyond it.
Well, you don't need to call someone when you're always hanging out. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. You don't need his number because you'll always be right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hasn't started yet, but I'm assuming it's any day now.
Any day now, there's going to be a knock at your door, and you're going to open it, and he's going to be there as Indiana Jones. And
He will have landed a plane on my
he's
roof.
going to whip you to death.
I'll take it. What a way
Really,
to go.
you'd be happy to go out that way, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, I thought you did. I thought you were very good. You were very professional. You are. I give you a hard time, but you are at your core a pro. and I thought you're a professional. You handle yourself well. Sona, you are not a professional.
Okay.
But I
was going to just ask you about your take on me, but okay. I should have just guessed.
Well, would you say you're a lot of things, a lot of great things. Would you say you're a professional?
First of all, I mean, Harrison Ford came in. Excuse you. He came in and I was very, very professional. A lot of times when you're around serious people, I am a very professional person. So, yeah, I do think that I was being professional. And I think that it's not like I'm walking in, like, puffing on a joint and eating Cheetos and being like, yo, Harry, what's up? I didn't do that.
Wow.
I think he would have appreciated that.
Yeah. First of all, I think he would have been fine with that, especially if you didn't bogart that joint. But I think that, you set a pretty low bar for yourself. You said, as long as I don't walk in eating Cheetos and smoking a massive blunt, then I'm a professional. So
I will say, I think that day you did actually come in from the kitchen with a snack bag of something like little Cheetos or something.
Yeah, you did.
But that's what I do every day when we record. So that's not different. But I think that I was being a professional. I think everybody was on their best behavior. We just wanted Harrison Ford to think we were cool.
Can I say I was not on my best behavior? I was not well behaved. I said I wasn't even sure he was in the Star Wars films because he doesn't.
Oh, that's right.
You'll hear that. I say, you got to admit, you don't really pop in those movies. I'm surprised he didn't come across the table.
No, you're the problem here.
You know what's so funny? I came in, as I do often, hot. I come in and, trying to give you guys a hard time. And while I was talking to you, realized I am the one who's unprofessional. I am the problem. And I'm saying this like it's a therapy session, and I just realized that for the first time. But no, that's a breakthrough for me. I am the problem.
You're also saying it like we haven't realized that from day one.
I don't care what you guys realize. I'm having my own breakthrough. This is about me. I'm the patient.
But I've said this many times that the fish rots from the head, and you're the head of this fish.
So I'm a rotting fish head.
Once the head rots, the rest of the thing rots.
No, we all know.
Rot first.
Sona, we know how it works. You don't need to break this down.
I just wanted to explain it. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm still not clear, Sona. If you could really.
So the fish rots from the head. That means Conan is the head of the fish.
What kind of fish?
He starts to
rot. What is it? Is it a freshwater fish or is it a saltwater fish?
It's I think it's a saltwater fish.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Why? Does that make a difference?
Do you
know a lot about fishing?
Sure.
Fish?
Well, you know me. I'm a guy that likes to get out on the sea. I like that air in my face. I come from a long line of fishermen, and
Yes, a microbiologist. Okay.
My father's a microbiologist, but before that, he was a Groton fisherman. He wore a big yellow Groton fisherman's outfit. And then he was so bad at it, they said, I think you need to go get a microscope. Because the only fish you're catching are so tiny we can't even see them. So that's how I did it. All right. Well, let's just say I admit I am the weak link in this chain today, but man, we had a really good time. So let's get to it. My guest today, of course, one of the biggest actors of all time, appearing in over 70 movies over the last 50 years, including Star Wars, Indiana Jones, The Fugitive, Blade Runner. Good God, it's ridiculous.
It's my buddy.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's your pal, and so many more. Now you can see him. Now you can see him in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We are thrilled. He's with us today. Harrison Ford.
Hi, my name is Harrison Ford, and I feel confused.
Okay.
About being Conan O'Brien's friend.
Now listen, you and I
talked about this a long time ago.
We did.
And then a lot of time has passed. You've made no effort whatsoever. And now you show up out of the blue and you want me to be your friend.
Yes, I do. And listen.
What can you say on a podcast?
You can say anything you want.
You like.
Anything you like.
Well, fuck you.
Already my favorite.
Clearly, Harrison, you've read the room and you understand that there's a lot of animosity towards me and that you will do quite well if you shit on me throughout this process.
Thank you for confirming my instincts.
You know, the first thing you did when you came in here is say, I just want my my parking validated. And that seems to be your chief concern, is that we validate your parking when, maybe I'm going out on a limb here, this could be the biggest hour of your career. It's possible. It's possible that this podcast recording will outshine any of your other work.
If he gets a parking validation.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry about the car. I'll walk home.
You will walk home rather than suffer
on air.
Yeah. Can we record you for the whole walk home?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you. I want to say something to you, which is that I have, you came on my show many, many times on the late night show. And over the years, people would say, who's one of your favorite guests? And I would say Harrison Ford, because he's so goddamn funny. You would come on the show. Have you seen these appearances?
Of course I have, yeah.
You are so hilariously funny. And you tossed me around like a rag doll verbally on these shows. And they're some of my favorite segments of all time. You were a hilarious man, and I've always loved being around you.
You guys wrote some great stuff for, I remember us. I don't remember any of it, to tell you the truth. But
Do you know who I am at this moment? Conan
O'Brien.
Yes.
It's kind of cool when you say it that way.
You know what? It's only cool when you say it. It's the only time it's ever been cool.
Do it again.
Conan
O'Brien.
Yes.
Wow, it's like jazz.
Wow.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we're jazz. We're jazz.
We're jazz.
Yeah.
We all pick up on each other.
He's jazz. You're
he's jazz?
like carousel
He's
music.
saying you're jazz.
I'm jazz.
And I am, Circus Calliope, I think. Something kind of that a chimp would dance to.
And you're Chaz. Chaz.
Okay, I'm sure. All right, I'm going to go with
What kind of
Chaz.
a name is Conan? Is it...
How dare you? Conan is an old Gaelic name that my parents gave me. They thought, we'll call him Conan.
Old Gaelic boy.
I come from...
Do you speak Gaelic?
I do not. I do not speak Gaelic. In fact, I don't think anybody really speaks Gaelic. I think it's a made-up... have you heard Gaelic? It sounds like a bunch of someone threw some chairs down the back stairs. It's just a lot of consonants. There's not a vowel in there. And I think it's just to confuse people about when it's time to go to the pub. So I don't speak Gaelic, but I do have a very Irish name. And you know what fascinated me to learn?
I'm part Irish.
You are part Irish, Irish, German, and mother Jewish.
What's the German part?
I thought you were German Irish. I thought your dad was German Irish.
Is there such a thing as German Irish?
Sure. Yeah. Would German people were allowed to marry Irish people? Sure.
But you don't carry a designation by marrying somebody a national.
Yeah, sure you do. Yeah. No. There are Irish Italians.
Okay.
Of course.
My father was Irish.
Right. Okay.
No German.
No German.
No.
Okay, I refer you to this piece of paper right here that says born and raised in Chicago to an Irish/German father.
Well, if that's the quality of your research. And I imagine it is, because right there it says Harrison Ford, and then you had to write down Han Solo.
Yeah, I did.
You can't fucking remember that?
No, I can't. I can't remember Han Solo.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I wrote down because I heard that you were in some of the Star Wars films. And this was news to me because I've seen those films, and I don't exactly think you pop.
Well,
I didn't recognize... I'm sorry.
Whoa.
But I mean, I remember Chewbacca. I remember the bad guy with the black helmet.
Uh-huh.
And then there's some people.
How come you're not still on television?
I think it's quite obvious why I'm not still on television.
Yeah.
I've always thought you have one of the coolest names of any leading man, Harrison Ford. You cannot beat that name. Yet, you were asked, or it was suggested early in your career, that you change your name. Who the fuck wanted you to change from Harrison Ford?
Jerry Dukovsky.
Oh.
Well, physician, heal thyself.
He just had a hatred for his own name.
Yeah.
Is that true? So he wanted you to change your name.
Yeah.
You said Harrison Ford, and he went, no, we can do better.
Yeah, he said that's too pretentious a name for a young man. He was about 4 years older than me. He always called me boy. Oh, boy.
So what did you come up with an alternate name?
Yeah. Jerry Tchaikovsky.
Well, okay. I don't think it was very original. You could have thought.
I did come back the next day. I was not only supposed to come back with a name, but I was supposed to be there earlier than my naming conference to get a haircut, and I'd been given a picture of Elvis Presley to take with me to the studio barber.
They told you, get this haircut?
Get this haircut and come back with a name. I said, okay. I didn't get the haircut. And I said, my new name is Kurt Affair.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kurt Affair.
Yeah. It's Irish-German name.
Oh my God.
So obviously that didn't stick.
No,
you didn't.
Nothing did.
Nothing did for a while.
No, they threw me. They let me go after a year and a half of a 7-year contract.
Wow.
After which I would be making $1,200 a week.
Really?
After 7 years.
So this is a different time in show business that kind of fascinates me.
Indentured servitude.
It really was. But you look at, I'm thinking now about the television. You come to Hollywood in 1964, and the big way to get a job, if you're lucky, is every show on television is a Western, a TV Western, pretty much. And you
Love American Style.
You did Love American Style?
Oh, yeah, man. I played a hippie.
Oh, yeah?
A real stretch.
It's so funny because I have a brother, Neil, who's obsessed with TV of the 60s and early 70s. And so I told him today when I'm on the, I told him when I was on.
That's my watch.
Is it your watch?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's very rude.
It's time for you to go.
Yeah. You just pushed the alarm on your watch so you could leave this interview now and not look rude. That's what happened.
I don't mind looking rude.
Well, that's true. That's true. You're right. I just did misread the situation terribly. Yeah. But so I'm driving into work today, and I'm talking to my brother, and I said, yeah, I'm going in and I talked to Harrison Ford. He said, that's so cool. Ask him about that Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
And I said, what? No one asks Harrison Ford about his episode of Gunsmoke. He's like, oh, yeah, I know. Him and these other guys take over the town, and you kill a guy in a bar and in a poker game, and he knew it. And then, of course, I looked it up online, and there's a picture of you looking real nasty on Gunsmoke.
Yeah, I did Gunsmoke in the Virginian, but I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I played the same part twice on FBI in one season, and they didn't even realize I was the same guy.
So you just came back, and they were like, we had a great time with Kurt Affair. What's your name?
Yeah. No, I always played, I seemed to get these, if there were two criminal brothers,
yeah, I
was the one that was sort of duped by my smarter older brother.
Right.
How old is your brother?
He's 3 years older than me, or 2.5 years. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, exactly. He tricked me into talking to you, and he'll be delighted because he'll listen to this and he'll say, "You got Harrison Ford to talk about Gunsmoke." But it is interesting to me, like at that whole period, because Clint Eastwood gets started in television westerns, Burt Reynolds. Yeah. All these sort of iconic actors, Steve McQueen, all these guys had to do it's like you had to do your time on a television Western before you could move on to other things. Is that a fair assessment of that period?
Well, no, not really.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
You're wrong.
Why can't you give me that? Why can't I have that?
You're
Why
wrong.
Can't you just say, sure, yeah, fine, Conan, let's move on. Instead, it's no, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Your brother's wrong.
Well, okay, I'm okay with him.
Your name's wrong.
Okay, everything's wrong. My name's wrong?
No, I played the same kind of character over and over again, and nobody noticed. So I don't think I was not on the Clint Eastwood track. In television. I was on the here today and gone tomorrow track.
Right. And that's why you're making your living primarily as a carpenter while you're doing these other parts. I'll get a part, and I'm lucky to get this sort of quasi background role in these little parts. And I think
still the case.
Yeah, you're hurting. It hasn't gone well for you. I think we can agree on that.
Look, show business has been very, very good to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it has. Yeah, I think you've been good to show business.
Well,
I do. I mean, you're very...
I was very lucky. I mean, for years, I did the same old thing. I went from Columbia Pictures to a contract at Universal for $250 a week. That lasted a year and a half. I always could get out of these things just by being a dick.
Really? Is that how you would get out of it, was just being kind of unpleasant?
Well, in Columbia's case, Jerry Tarkovsky, write it down, folks, called me into his office and told me that Mike Frankovich, who was the head of the studio, was in Europe and he'd forgotten to sign my contract when he left. But he was going to suggest to Mike Frankovich, Jerry Tarkovsky, was going to suggest that they drop me anyway because I had no future in the business.
I appreciate and notice that you know their names cold. You have already forgotten mine. But
no, I haven't.
And what is it, please?
It's Conan O'Brien.
Oh my God. I want that on that's my outgoing message for the rest of time. I'll get a lot of hangups, but I love that when you're in that early part of your career, and this is true of all of us, and someone doesn't see it or someone wrongs you in some way or disrespects you, you never forget that name.
But you're not letting me finish any story.
Finally.
Fucking interrupt me. Every time I get to that punchline, you're there to wander it. Jerry Tarkovsky said to me that Mike Frankovich hadn't signed my contract, so and he was going to perhaps I got this far before. He was going to suggest that they drop me. Mm-hmm. He said that he would give me 2 weeks' pay till Mike Frankovich came back, because he knew that my wife was pregnant. My wife at the time was pregnant, and I needed the money. I said, no, that's fine. Goodbye. And I was out. That was it.
Why not just take the $250?
It was $150. 2 weeks would have been $300. And that was stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah. Your wife's expecting a child?
Yeah.
That money went a long way back then.
Shit.
What were you doing?
Think about how much money you have now if you kept that.
Exactly. That money invested wisely then would
could
be worth...
making $1,200 a week. Yeah.
It says here in my research that that's what you're getting for the latest Indiana Jones film. I have a very clear memory of the first time I encountered you, which is you had not been on the show yet, and you're easily one of my favorite Hollywood stars, and I'm going to say of all time. And my show is struggling along for a couple of years, and we're just sort of starting to catch. And I could never get a star of Harrison Ford's caliber on the program. That would be unimaginable. I'm almost done. And that exhale was like the last breath of a 1,000-year-old man.
No, I'm just remembering that you never fucking asked me to
We
be
did
on the show.
ask you! You did not! Don't shout at me on my podcast. It's rude.
I'm not shouting.
I'm in Washington, D.C. for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I'm going to be up there on the dais with Clinton. I've never met Harrison Ford, and I'm on an elevator door that's closing, and all I'm nervous about, how's my set going to go on this thing? Elevator doors are closing, and I've talked about this on the show years ago. Elevator doors closing when I hear a voice say, "Hold the elevator." And I'm thinking, I really got to get upstairs. The door's 2/3 closed. So I don't really try to hit the button when the iconic face of Harrison Ford appears in between the two closing doors and looks right at me, and the door's shut. And I, all the way up to my room, which is on the 8th floor, shit myself the whole way up.
That's what propelled the elevator up.
Yeah, the elevator was not functioning, but it was propelled purely by my, it was a horrifying moment for me. And I apologize again. We recreated the moment on the air. You can see it online where I asked you to, let's recreate the moment. And you gave this amazing death stare into the camera, and we had 2 elevator doors close on it. And I felt the same trauma all over again.
That's how he remembers your name, like Jerry Tarkovsky.
I'm sorry, Harrison. I could have probably, it was a horrible moment for me. And I'm glad that you've come here.
I come here as a friend.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's all past. You're not gonna.
No,
you bear no ill will.
No. You're no Jerry Tarkovsky.
That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
So here's the deal. The last time I saw Jerry Tarkovsky was
Jesus, you are obsessed.
Listen, in that office on Gower. 15 years later, I'm sitting in the executive dining room at the executive dining room at Warner Brothers. And a waiter came over to me in the middle of my meal and had on a little tray, and there was a little white card on it. I'd never seen that before, and he proffered the tray. Mm-hmm. I picked up the card. It said, Jerry Tarkovsky, Vice President, blah, 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 whatever. I looked at it, and I looked around the room, and everybody looked like Jerry Tarkovsky. And I turned it over, and on the back, handwritten, was a little note that said, I missed my guess.
Wow.
He was guessing.
Yeah. But I give people credit for, for acknowledging. He acknowledged that
I thought so too.
Yeah. I give people a lot of credit when someone comes up and says, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like you coming here today to apologize for.
Well, Jerry Tarkovsky didn't quite say he was sorry.
Oh.
He just said that he made a bad bet.
That's not good enough.
By the time I leave here, you will be sorry.
I'm sorry now.
Do these people get to talk at all?
I try to discourage it.
I see. It's working.
The best I can.
Yeah.
So now you weigh in because you're having the time of your life.
I am really into this Jerry Tarkovsky character arc because I do think that there's a nice end to it. It is. Where is he now?
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's bring him in.
Yeah, he's here.
Well, we have a surprise for you.
Do you have a phone-in number that we could?
No, he is here in person. We arranged all of this. He now cleans pools in Redondo.
Oh, no.
And he's here to say again that he missed his bet.
Yeah. Oh,
so there
man.
you go. Oh, good. He's taking a drink of water. I'm going to get a question in. So, oh my God, he's not swallowing. Harrison. This behavior is not worthy of you. A man of your stature, all you've achieved, this is not worthy of you.
We should also mention that he's been eating those little cuties, those little orange slices this whole time.
The smallest orange I've ever seen. Make a tiny mini nectarine.
Yeah.
A tangelo, if you will. And you've been eating it section by section.
Little cuties, they're called.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's what I do.
Are you glad he finally piped up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't this worth it?
Incredible comment about little cuties.
Great.
Think if we didn't have that, what would we do? What would we do?
Trying to paint a picture for the listener.
I think that's very good. If only there were cameras here. Oh.
Yeah.
Why are there cameras here?
This is just for tax purposes. I need to be able to show that we made a podcast.
Okay.
And then we get to write it off because I monetize everything. I now own your likeness because you've been on the podcast. And you need to buy it back from me for the new Indiana Jones film to come out. That's how smart I am. That's what makes me different from other people in this business. I'm a real whiz, Harrison. A real whiz.
Wow. Wow.
I saw you at a party recently.
No.
Yeah, I did. I did. And I remember.
I saw you too.
Thank you. I was glad you saw me.
You're hard to miss.
I'm hard to miss.
Yeah.
I kind of stand out, don't I?
Stand up. Stand up.
But I just was in a silly mood, and it was fantastic because I walked up to you and I said, I think I'm the new Harrison Ford. And you gave me that great look. And you said, fuck you, I'm Harrison Ford. And I said, well, you've been Harrison Ford for a long time, but there's time for a new one, and it's me. And you said, okay, you can have it. And I thought that was a verbal agreement that maybe I take over.
Oh, what a waste.
What are you talking about? I have the gravitas.
Oh,
I have the bearing.
What will you do with it?
I would try to, keep the different franchises going.
Oh, no.
Why?
You as Han Solo?
Yeah.
No.
Let's stop this right now. Yeah. Where was this party? Where was this alleged party?
This was a party, alleged party. You were there. This is a party that was a lot of the Shrinking Gang was there, and which, by the way, you are hilarious on that show. That's a fantastic part, and you play it beautifully. And we had a nice time at that party. A bunch of the Shrinking cast was there, and
I remember it now clearly. Clearly,
you were there.
You were there,
and I think you were having maybe a tequila, and I was having
maybe
a little bit of
orange juice.
Okay, it was orange juice. They're very easy to mistake orange juice for tequila in a shot glass. But anyway, I thought we had a real moment there. I thought that you enjoyed my company, and I hate to make this all about me when you've had this incredibly storied career.
I know where you live, and it's not very far from where I live.
Uh-huh.
You could walk over to my house anytime.
Is that true?
No, because
I could walk to your house, but would I get in? If the doorbell rang?
No, you would walk back. But at least you'd make an effort.
I'd make an effort.
And if you really wanted me to notice the roundness of this, if you really wanted me to be your friend, but you didn't.
And it's over now. I had my chance.
No, I think this is your chance. I think you can still redeem yourself.
Oh. Well, how's it going so far?
No, I have friends like you.
Okay.
I really, I mean,
you're circus people? What?
No,
you have no friends like me.
I've always liked you. I liked you. That's why I did your show.
Many times.
Many times.
Yeah.
I did it like, twice?
Oh, no.
4 or 5 times.
You did my show 9 times. You did my show. You have...
And you...
Right here.
name
9 times.
Really?
Did show
Wow.
9 times. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
You did it 9 times. And you were unfailingly very funny every time.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things you ever did
Yeah.
was we have this person who our fans know very well named Jordan Schlansky, who's a Star Wars obsessive. And he had built a Millennium Falcon out of Legos. And it took him 9 months to build this thing.
Yeah.
And he brought it out and gave a long speech to you about the meaning of his Millennium Falcon.
One of the pieces of memorabilia in my collection, in fact, the flagship piece, is a Lego Millennium Falcon that I put together in 2010. They're selling for about $5,000 now, and it took about 60 man-hours to create. And I display it with pride, but it would really mean the world to me if Harrison could sign it. Is that okay, Harrison? Wow.
Sure.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Now, it's very delicate.
A long time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I have a sharp...
That's bad.
And handed it to you. And you threw it up over your head. And it landed on the floor and shattered in a million pieces. And it was the greatest day of my life.
And then he picked up a piece and then signed it.
And you signed it for him. And it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. And by the way, it's a clip online that people adore. They just adore it. It was just a magical moment. And I thank you for that.
Well, those of you at home who don't know how these things work, let me point out that this was a scripted bit.
Yes, it was.
He didn't build the damn thing. Somebody else, in the prop department,
this is why
built the damn thing over probably took him 3 weeks. He probably had to take it home and ask his kid to help him put it together.
Yeah.
And then you built this whole shtick around it, and you suggested that it would be funny.
Yes.
If I destroyed it.
Yeah. Right. I will make it clear. And first of all, this is why you've never.
And you were right.
It was funny.
Yeah. Cruel.
I'm cruel.
But funny.
I'd like to point out that you'd be terrible working with a magician. Because the magician would come out and do a trick where he saws the lady in half and then puts her back together again. And just as the crowd is applauding, Harrison Ford walks out and says, "Excuse me, I'd like to point out that this was all a sad sham. This woman secreted herself into the first half of the box, and those legs are fake." I have a picture of you as a terrible, terrible magician's assistant. But yes, you just exposed my little trick that delighted millions.
And you just explained to me why people never do imitations of me.
I was just trying to get my voice into a male register. That's all I was trying to do. All I was trying to do.
You tried.
I tried. No. The only way I can sound like a man is to get down here. And then I'm either Nixon or Harrison Ford. And I am neither one.
You sound a little like Jerry.
You've got to get this man behind. Yeah. I know now that you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat yelling this man's name.
Nah.
You won. You won.
No. I haven't. This is the first time I've remembered his name in 15 years. Mm-hmm. It just came to me.
I have that effect on people.
You do.
Is like a good therapy session for you. I'm freeing you of your past demons.
Oh, my wife is going to be so excited. Really?
I saw Conan today. I'm a new man. All of my demons are gone.
Uh-huh.
I think she's going to be quite pleased with this transformation.
Yeah.
I
hope so.
I think she will.
I hope so.
And I cherish.
God, I hope so. I've tried everything else.
This is a total meltdown of some kind, which I'm really enjoying. I am very excited, as is especially my friend Matt, for the upcoming.
He looks
Indiana.
excited.
This is him excited.
Let me tell you how much I can't wait for this.
I in this era now where people are saying, I don't know if I want to go to the theater anymore. The idea of going and seeing a new Indiana Jones movie is absolutely thrilling to me. And
I hope they go to the theaters to see it, if they're going to see it at all. I wish they will. I hope they'll see it in the theater.
Make them personally.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But I can't imagine. I think I think all of them have been spectacular.
Your family are not an audience, No,
exactly.
At home.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the movie.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you could see it at home if you wanted to, maybe later.
Right.
But give it a chance. Go to a movie theater.
Yeah.
Be in the dark with strange people.
Yeah.
Well, I've done that, and I've done that, and I've gone to a movie. One was slightly more erotic than the other, I'll say. But I can't imagine seeing an Indiana Jones film any other way. I just can't. I think it would be. I would. And the thing is, I know it's going to be an event because I know that my son, who's 17, loves the franchise. He's going to want to go. I mean, just it's going to be a thing where we can all go as a family. If they allow me, I get to go too. And I want to see it with an audience. I want to see it with people.
I've got tickets.
Did you get them already?
Tickets, yeah.
Yeah.
They're on sale.
Did you pay for them? Because maybe Harrison.
How much does a movie cost these days?
Well, there's like those two levels, a regular theater, and then they have those lie-down ones where you can get food and take a nap.
No. Okay.
That's a nice thing to say to Harrison Ford. I bought a napping seat to go see your movie. What the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck, Matt?
I'm not saying during his movie.
Right.
Of course not. I've been waiting for this for years. And those are like $20, $25.
To lay down and have a nap.
Yeah.
So you got the special, well, wait a minute. You say you don't know. When was the last time you bought a ticket and went into a movie theater? Has it been a while? You're scaring me. When you stare at me like that, you frighten me to my core.
No, I don't. But I also don't remember the last. You're right. You're right. I have seen movies on a big screen.
Yes.
In a theater.
Right. Right.
But there was nobody else in the room.
That's how Howard Hughes did it.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
Weren't you just at the Cannes Film Festival? You probably saw some.
Yeah, I saw the new Indiana Jones movie.
That's right. You sat in an audience.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures
That's the
of
last
you.
time.
That guy's really good.
Yeah.
I got in for free.
I would have loved it if they had stopped you and you had been looking for your ticket at the Cannes premiere of Indiana Jones. Yeah. So you were there, and that's.
Yeah.
I know that you've experienced everything one can
10
experience.
days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything one can experience in this business at the highest level, but that still has to be exciting.
What part?
Cannes Film Festival. You're going up the big red carpet.
Yeah.
Beautiful wife on your arm. You go inside, a whole crowd of those fancy French people.
Yeah.
And then your movie comes up.
Yeah.
A storied franchise.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have to think that there's be some part of you that would say, yes, this is cool. I'm gonna wait for it.
It was actually a pretty interesting experience.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for a while, but I had been there in the past, but with other even Indiana Jones movies.
Mm-hmm.
anyway, it was a beautiful projection system, great room, lots and lots of people. But they weren't like a real audience.
Right.
I mean, they had tuxedos and beautiful gowns on and stuff like that.
Right.
So it didn't. I want to see it with an ordinary rabble.
Yeah.
I got an extra ticket.
Yeah, we can all go together.
Yeah.
If you'd like.
4 of us.
Yeah.
If you'd like, we'll all go together. In fact,
When
Eduardo, you're invited as well.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
This is
Blay,
this is the
I'll
5th.
check your schedule. Yes, no, Blay, you're in.
This is the 5th, right?
Yeah.
Of June.
Yeah, it's June 5th. Yeah.
June 5th. The movie comes out June 30th.
I believe so.
Correct.
Let me check my incorrect.
Yeah.
It says
you
here.
would know.
I already know it's
Yeah,
true.
June
June
30th.
30th. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, it says it on the ticket, right?
Mhm.
So we wait here.
Mhm.
25 days.
You'll wait here for 25 days.
I like
Yeah.
this.
I'll have food brought in for you
Okay.
We do this show every day.
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah, now we do,
Yeah.
and you're the only guest every
Uh-huh.
day. And
Cool.
so we call it's a special promotional month of Harrison Ford. And it's you every day for an hour.
I promised I wouldn't do this.
What are you doing?
Get excited.
If that's your orgasm,
I know. What is
you're a
that
disgusting
now?
man. What do you?
I'm just tensing up in excitement.
That's not what it
you
sounds
made it
like.
disgusting.
That's not what it sounds
You're
like.
filthy-minded.
It did sound
I
sexual.
apologize. I apologize for my partner.
No, it did sound sexual.
Thank
though.
you
It
so
might
much.
have been.
Yeah.
It might have been.
Well, anyway,
Sorry.
glad I brought this creep along.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Ford.
Do it again.
You make me blush, I declare.
Where did you get
do
that?
declare.
Where did you get that Southern
declare.
fan?
I do declare.
A man.
Ooh. You had to be here.
Oh no, this is.
Oh
is,
no, you got
this is
cameras.
good stuff. It's all. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. This is all going to turn it around for you. This podcast. This morning, when you were coming here, did you have a second of thinking, "What? I'm going to do what?" Conan O'Brien has a tiny radio show in a little room. Was there a point where you did a 180 and started headed home?
No, I didn't. I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious about it, but then I got here and I see this is really kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit's not free.
No, this is a state-of-the-art studio designed here by Eduardo.
Really?
Nice,
man. Thank you.
Yeah. A beautiful building that we have, a large complex. We do many.
And there are like probably there's 6 people here.
Outside. Yeah.
Outside, there's another 20 people.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, first of all, a lot of them are here because you're here. Yeah. And I hate to throw people under the bus, but when Nick Kroll rolls in, they're not here. I'm sorry, Nick, but you're going to take a bullet to this one.
Yeah.
Who's Nick Kroll?
Exactly.
Is he like Jerry Tchaikovsky?
He's my Jerry Tchaikovsky. He's a very funny, brilliant comic and actor. And
Nick Kroll.
Yeah, I threw him under the bus for no reason other than his name came to mind, and I thought, I'm friendly enough with him that I can do this in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was undeserved. And Nick, my apologies, but you got a shout out. I'm talking here with Harrison Ford.
Hey.
And also,
Let me say his name again.
Yeah.
Nick Kroll.
Yes. There you go. Now, see, all is forgiven. He's just thrilled.
Yeah.
He's thrilled now. Yeah, but no, we do have, this is a big operation, and many, many, many people will hear this.
Yeah.
And they'll say, Conan does interrupt too often, and he should shut up, and he should let Harrison talk.
Nah. Should let these other people talk a little bit. Because they've got microphones in front of them.
Yeah.
You have not said one fucking word.
Can I say something?
You know, it's your last day at work, so why not? Go for it.
Well, I would just like to say that I dressed up a little bit today out of because I'm a huge fan, and every single person in the office has commented, "Oh, you dressed up, you look nice." So do I just normally look terrible? I just put on a button down. I'm sorry to bring this interview
Use
down.
the opportunity to ask a question about himself.
I know. Are you crazy? You finally got the mic.
No, I'm sorry.
You're the biggest. You're the biggest next to Matt.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry, Harrison. I'm sorry.
You spent your one bullet on that?
You missed your guess. Who is this guy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't let him have the microphone.
Yes, sorry.
So anyway, what do you think about what I'm wearing, Harrison? Do you like it? Is it nice?
I'm sorry.
Jesus. We're wearing almost the same thing.
See, we're almost matching.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I didn't bring it up. I didn't think we'd take some of Conan's valuable time to talk about what you and I are wearing.
I have to say, this is
humiliating.
This is humiliating. This is humiliating for me. It was humiliating for you the minute you walked through that door.
Come on.
You are a colossus.
I'm just
a colossus.
Yeah.
And then the minute you walked in here, it was all diminished.
Yeah.
Your career's through, Harrison. It's over.
Okay.
I've just been told that Shrinking no longer wants you.
Yep.
They're getting a new Indiana Jones.
Oh my God.
Yeah, been replaced. Nick Kroll will take over that role. What are you doing?
He's removing the belly button.
You're removing. That's a little mark that keeps you on the belly button there, so that you always your lighting is just perfect, and you removed it. You're a carpenter. Do you like our table? What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice. Everything is nice here.
It's nice.
Really
yeah,
is.
We did a really
It's
good
tasteful
job.
and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you say? You, me, maybe we start hanging out a little more regularly.
Well, I thought we had this daily podcast deal.
He was
don't ruin
clearly
this.
kidding. No, that's not.
I don't think
he'll
he
never
will.
see you again.
No.
The door, it's over for you. It's really over for Clay.
We're going to Chipotle after.
We're going to Chipotle. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of time left. I'm 80.
You look fantastic.
Unbelievable.
By the way.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So you can be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
What would we do together?
You and I?
Yeah.
I see us getting a meal.
We could get a meal.
We
Yeah.
get a meal. Probably
Should we
both
take
live
the
in.
girls?
I think
Our
we should.
wives.
I think we should take.
I can't say girls.
No, I can't do that. I think we take the ladies. I
Yeah.
take my wife. You take your wife. We go to a nice place. We get and then you and I take a little stroll afterwards. We lose the ladies. You and I walk along the ocean in Santa Monica. And we look at the moon for a little while, the way fellas do.
Oh.
And it's a nice way to digest. And
I'm digesting it right now.
people will say,
Yeah.
there's Harrison Ford.
And Conan
Who's that
O'Brien.
tall lady with him?
He's taking a new lover.
Why is he out on the town with that very strange tall woman?
And why are our wives
Why are they not included?
Yeah.
Well, why are they letting it happen?
Yeah. They're better than that.
Yes, they are. We both married up. Harrison, I want to say in all sincerity, and you do not.
This is it, huh?
You're not someone who encourages, sincerity, so much foolishness and laughing. But I'm not kidding when I say that people turned up today who I haven't seen in a long time.
Like me.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
me.
Just to watch you walk through the door, and you mean the absolute world to people. And you should have been in this room last week when it was confirmed that you were coming on the podcast. I believe Matt openly wept. Blade jumped out a window. Sona took an edible, but she does anyway.
Yeah, I do that regularly anyway.
Yeah, she's pretty high.
Although I am excited you're here. But I just
she's
did what I normally
major.
do.
Yeah, she's got a problem.
Okay, not that bad. Yeah, it's
Yeah, we all have an edible from time to time.
You don't do that.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I think it'd be good for me. But my point, Harrison, and I eventually do get to my point, my listeners will tell you that, is that it was an absolute joy having you here. And I will say again, you're one of my favorite funny people. You are so funny in an original, dry way, and you're just the whole way you come across. I've always loved having him on the show, always. And I love now, too, that in Shrinking, people get to see you be so hilariously funny. Nope, wasn't written down. That was that was all genuine.
No, it's 10 times now. I've done it.
Oh, yeah.
I've done you 10 times.
I've done you 10 times.
Yeah, you are done.
That's it? 10?
Nah, just for me.
If this was... Hey, if this were it, I would be quite happy. I would be quite happy with that. Seriously, it's...
it was fun for me, too.
You know what? It's an honor to know you and a blast, and God, you make me laugh. So thank you very much for doing this, and I'll be by in about 48 hours.
I'm counting on it.
No, you'll be there waiting.
To turn you away.
To turn me away. Personally turn me away. It's been a while since, in the old days, they would throw a guy out of a bar by grabbing the back of his shirt and his belt and throw him out. That is how Harrison is going to throw me off of his property.
What a way to go.
Man, no, nothing like that. You're a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an old man.
Oh,
never happened.
You could beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
No.
Trust me. I say we never do this, but round of applause for Harrison Ford. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's it?
You're free to go.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Right.
I don't know why you're crying.
I'm happy.
Oh, good.
I'm glad I came. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
And you got a friend.
Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. Yeah. Thank you.
What about us?
Yeah.
Don't push it.
No.
Fair.
I think that's a smart choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I respect that. Sona, this is big news. You're giving the commencement speech for the Mount San Antonio, informally known as Mount Sac College commencement.
No,
graduation?
I'm not giving the commencement address.
Okay.
It's a 2-minute speech.
Okay.
Wait, I thought you were giving the commencement address.
No, I'm alumna of the year. For
hey, congratulations! That's
congratulations.
Cool.
I don't like the way you said that.
What did
it? Is that more?
I was congratulating you sincerely.
I think
sincere?
that was delivered sincerely with the understanding that an insult was to follow.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, but later, like in 20 minutes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So off mic.
And unrelated to this.
Okay.
No, Sona, I really am honestly proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you've accomplished a lot, and I was saying a nice thing to you.
That's nice.
I
sorry.
honestly was.
The way you said it was just very. I'm sorry. Thank you. Sorry, but it was you had a tone.
That's my nasal voice. I can't help it. You're like, you had a tone, and your lips were thin, and your eyes were beady.
Oh.
Yeah, that's me. I can't help that.
No, but they named me alumna of the year. I went to a community college before I transferred to USC. I'm very proud of my time there. And then they named me alumna of the year. And you did an interview for the video they're going to show at commencement. And I found out recently there's going to be like 12,000 people there.
12,000? That's a big crowd.
Yeah.
That's a big crowd.
I know.
But wait a minute. You're always talking about how you were a speech champion when you
national speech champion. Yes.
Yeah.
National.
You bring that up all the time. You bring that up when they pull you over for a DUI. You're like, now it's national speech champion. All right, you're free to go. Here's some more alcohol. Thank you, officer.
The officer gives me alcohol.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah. We didn't realize you were a national speech champion. Here's much more vodka. Thank you, officer. Well, it's officer, not thofficer, but I still refuse to give you a blood alcohol test. So I think you're going to be fine. Do you know what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, give us the first line. Give us a little preview.
Well, I'm doing it in a. They built a brand new stadium that we're going to have the graduation in.
I thought you were going to say I'm doing it in an accent.
No. They built this brand new stadium at the school. So my first line is, "Thanks for building this stadium for
solid.
me."
That's solid.
Good. I like that.
Stupid.
That's great.
It's stupid.
No,
That'll
that's
work.
Good.
But there's not like a lot of jokes. It's not like.
Oh, you got to have jokes.
Will you write it for me?
Well,
You've done
oh, wait,
two.
I won't write them for you.
Oh, right.
Because there's a Writers Guild strike.
Yeah.
So I refuse to help you with this.
Well, I thought.
And I hope you bomb.
Yeah.
Go WGA.
Yeah, you producer, you
What?
ruthless scab producer.
I thought you couldn't write shows and stuff. You could write a commencement address.
I think I can.
It's a union
Wait,
gig.
for reals? It's not union at all. It's me.
No,
It's just a 2-minute speech.
You're the man. You're the man now, dog.
You know what you are? I'm sick of your boot on my throat.
Yeah.
You've written two.
Wait, why don't you get AI to write it, you asshole?
I know I should.
You should get AI to
But
do it.
you've written two of like really well-known commencement addresses that were like longer than 2 minutes. Can I borrow some from your Harvard class day speech, your Dartmouth address?
No, you cannot. But also, how much time did you say you have?
2 minutes?
You don't. There's no such thing as a speech that's 2 minutes long.
No, that's. Are you sure they're being square with you? You're not just introducing someone.
No, but there's a 3-minute video, and then there's a 2-minute. I get 5 minutes. I'm just
First
like
of
this
all,
little blip.
Can I say something? They say 2 minutes, but you're going to take more than 2 minutes because there's no such thing as a 2-minute speech.
Oh, well, I wrote it.
That's called ordering a pizza.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Not a bad idea.
yeah, but still, that's
Why can't I just take stuff that you wrote?
Well, it won't match.
Okay.
You know,
Plagiarism.
well, but also it just won't match your personal experience. You have such a different background than me, and you have a great story to tell. Coming to this country,
Oh,
no.
come on.
a boat that you made out of Brillo pads, sewn together with beeswax that had been dried and turned into twine. You forged a path across a mighty sea.
Yeah.
You have a great story to tell. And also, what I think is very cool, and I'm being sincere here, is, you know, you started this community college, and look what you've achieved. I think that's very cool.
It is. And I'm shocked because there's a lot of really impressive alumni that have come out of there. So
Yes.
when they first said I was the alumna of the year, I was like, why?
Who are they? Are they anyone we'd know?
No.
Oh,
I have to be honest with you, though. I think it'll be an inspiration for all of them.
yeah.
To see you, because you do have a lot of fans and you are an impressive person. And I think I'll tell you, I think it's also, you know, good for these people to see I think you're still able to connect to young people. I think you're a very youthful person. So it's
that's nice.
You're not a stodgy old person saying, now let me tell you something. When I was a boy, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, first of all, you shouldn't say when you were a boy because you weren't. But I think it's going to go really well.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I've gone back to Mount Sac a few times to talk to the students, and I can't tell you how many people love you, which I was surprised.
Don't say that.
And these are educated people?
Well, she says people.
Well, no,
she means some of the farm animals hanging out
They're young.
in the agricultural lab.
They're super young, and they're like, not that, you know, I know I'm like saying, I always think that they're just like into like Taylor Swift and like Billie Eilish, and like,
There's
yeah, you
big
know.
crossover between my fans and Billie Eilish fans and Taylor Swift fans. I'm convinced of that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you
know
convinced
what?
yourself doesn't mean that it's true.
On her current tour, Taylor often starts the show by saying, how many Conan fans we got in the crowd? And the place erupts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not seen any footage of that at all.
I haven't seen it either. And I haven't even heard about it, but I'm pretty sure it's happening because of my power to deceive myself is absolutely incredible.
That's impressive.
Conifties.
Yeah, Conifties are the. I'm a Conifty. Excuse me, what's that? A Taylor Swift fan who's also a Conan O'Brien fan. Okay, how many are there?
I said
None.
I'm a Conifty.
I'm the Conifty.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Are you the? You know what? It's like this rare bird that no one's seen in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Are you the Conifty? Someone who loves Taylor Swift, but also loves that fringe weirdo?
They photoshopped a picture of the two of you, like just together hanging out.
Yep. So cool. Well, when is it happening? It's happening very soon.
Well, by the time the audience hears this, it will have already happened on June 9th.
Okay.
So
Do you get to wear a gown and a mortarboard and all
Yeah.
that? That's nice.
I know.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool.
Do you get a special like scarf of some kind,
I
like
don't
in
know.
Nexium?
I have no idea.
Are they going to give you any kind of doctorate? You get a doctorate?
Come on.
I don't know.
You got an honorary doctorate?
I'm not sure. I think from Dartmouth they said something. I don't know. I don't
don't be
remember
coy.
I'm not being coy. I honestly don't know. They put something around we got to look up what I got.
I'm pretty sure he got a doctorate.
Yeah, but I know that I wanted it to be an oral surgeon. I wanted to actually be a doctor afterwards and then be able to open up.
Doctor of Arts.
I'm
There
a
you
doctor
go.
of arts.
Doctor of Arts.
Jesus.
I'm a doctor of arts.
Come on.
Motherfuckers. Is there a doctor in it? I wish next time I'm on an airplane and something happens, they go like, is there a doctor here? Hello? I am a doctor of arts from Dartmouth. And I'm going to push my way to the front. Well, this person seems to be having a heart attack. Have you got a book? Maybe Thackeray? Or one of the Bronte sisters?
Care to talk about the contrapposto of the statue, David?
Because on those matters, I'm good to go.
He's
He's dead. He's dead. He died while you were talking about the Brontes. Well, I did what I could. I suppose that makes me some kind of hero.
Excuse me, I'm an actual doctor and I couldn't get up here because this asshole was blocking the aisle.
I'm actually a pulmonary specialist. I could have saved this man by doing chest compressions. That's all well and good. But I got here first because I'm a doctor of the arts. Well, all right. Let's wrap it up, gang.
Congratulations, Sonia.
Congratulations
to those students.
And you know what? My advice to you is enjoy it. That's a moment when you're up there. Take it in and you have a tendency to go, oh, no, blah, blah. Take it in. That's a really nice moment.
Okay.
They'll be thrilled that you're there and enjoy it. And we're really proud of you.
Oh, that's very cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. Peace
Aw,
out, Tupac. This morning, when you were coming here, did you have a second of thinking, what? I'm going to do what? Conan O'Brien has a tiny radio show in a little room? Was there a point where you did a 180 and started headed home?
No, I didn't. I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious about it, but then I got here and I see this is a really kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit's not free.
No. No, this is a state-of-the-art studio designed here by Eduardo.
Really?
Nice,
man. Thank you.
Yeah. A beautiful building that we have,
Yeah.
a large complex. We
Yeah.
do many
And there are like probably there's 6 people here.
Outside. Yeah.
Outside, there's another 20 people.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, first of all, a lot of them are here because you're here. Yeah. And I hate to throw people under the bus, but when Nick Kroll rolls in, they're not here. I'm sorry, Nick, but you're going to take a bullet for this one.
Yeah.
Who's Nick Kroll?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Is he like Jerry Tchaikovsky?
He's my Jerry Tchaikovsky. He's a very funny, brilliant comic and actor. And
Nick Kroll.
Yeah, I threw him under the bus for no reason other than his name came to mind, and I thought I'm friendly enough with him that I can do this in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was undeserved. And Nick, my apologies, but you got a shout out. I'm talking here with Harrison Ford.
Hey.
And also,
Let me say his name again.
Yeah.
Nick Kroll.
Yes. There you go. Now, see, all is forgiven. He's just thrilled.
Yeah.
He's thrilled now. Yeah, but no, we do have, this is a big operation, and many, many, many people will hear this.
Yeah.
And they'll say, Conan does interrupt too often, and he should shut up, and he should let Harrison talk.
Nah. Should let these other people talk a little bit. Because they've got microphones in front of them.
Yeah.
And you have not said one fucking word.
Can I say something?
You know, it's your last day at work, so why not? Go for it.
Well, I would just like to say that I dressed up a little bit today out of because I'm a huge fan, and every single person in the office has commented oh, you dressed up, you look nice. So do I just normally look terrible? I just put on a button down. I'm sorry to bring this interview
He used
down.
the opportunity to ask a question about himself.
I know.
Are you crazy?
You finally got the mic.
No, I'm sorry.
You're the
Jesus.
biggest. You're the biggest next to
Shut
Matt.
the fuck up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Harrison. I'm sorry.
You
What are we
spent your
doing?
one bullet on that?
You missed
Who
your
is
guess.
this guy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't let him have the microphone.
Yes, sorry.
So anyway, what do you think about what I'm wearing, Harrison? Do you like it? Is it nice?
I'm sorry.
Jesus. We're wearing almost the same thing.
See, we're almost matching.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I didn't bring it up.
Come out of nowhere.
I didn't think we'd take some of Conan's valuable time to talk about what you and I are wearing.
I have to say, this is
Humiliating.
this is humiliating. This is humiliating for me. It was humiliating for you the minute you walked through that door.
Nah,
You've-
come on.
You are a colossus.
You know, I'm
a
just
colossus.
yeah.
And then the minute you walked in here, it was all diminished.
Yeah.
Your career's through, Harrison. It's over.
Okay.
I've just been told that Shrinking no longer wants you.
Yep.
They're getting a new Indiana Jones.
Oh my God.
Yeah, been replaced. Nick Kroll will take over that role. What are you doing?
He's removing the belly button.
You're removing. That's a little mark that keeps you on the belly button there, so that you always your lighting is just perfect, and you removed it. You're a carpenter. Do you like our table? What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice. Everything is nice here.
It's nice.
really
Yeah,
is.
we did a
It's
really
very
good job.
tasteful and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you say? You,
Uh,
me, maybe we start hanging out a little more regularly.
Well, I thought we had this daily podcast deal. Like,
He was
don't ruin
clearly
this.
kidding. No, that's not.
I don't
happening.
think
he'll
he
never
will.
see you again. The
No.
door. It's over for you.
We're
It's
going-
really over
no,
for Clay.
we're
the
going to
movies?
Chipotle after.
We're going to Chipotle. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of time left. I'm 80.
You look fantastic. By the way.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Unbelievable.
yeah. So you can be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
What would we do together?
You and I.
Yeah.
I see us getting a meal.
We could get
and
a
then
meal.
We
Yeah.
get a meal. Probably
Should
we
we
both
take
live
the
in.
girls?
I think
Our
we should.
wives.
I think we should take. I
Can't
think,
say girls.
no, I can't do that. I think we take the ladies. I
Yeah.
take my wife. You take your wife. We
Mhm.
go to a nice place. We get and then you and I take a little stroll afterwards. We lose the ladies. You and I walk along the ocean in Santa Monica. We look at the moon for a little while, the way fellas do.
Oh.
And it's a nice way to digest. And
I'm digesting it right now.
people will say,
Yeah.
there's Harrison Ford.
And Conan
Who's that
O'Brien.
tall lady with him?
He's taking a new lover.
Why is he out on the town with that very strange tall woman?
And why are our wives
Why are they not included?
letting? Yeah.
Well, why are they letting it happen?
Yeah.
Uh,
They're better than that.
yes, they are. We both married up. Harrison, I want to say in all sincerity, and you do not.
This is it, huh? This is.
You're not someone who encourages, sincerity. So much foolishness and laughing, but I'm not kidding when I say that people turned up today who I haven't seen in a long time.
Like me.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
me.
Just to watch you walk through the door, and you mean the absolute world to people. And you should have been in this room last week when it was confirmed that you were coming on the podcast. I believe Matt openly wept. Blade jumped out a window.
Yeah.
Sona took an edible, but she does anyway.
Yeah, I do that regularly anyway.
Yeah, she's pretty
Yeah,
high.
although I am excited you're here. But
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, she's
did what
a
I normally
major.
Yeah.
She's got a problem.
Okay, not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we all have an edible from time to time.
You don't do that.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I think it'd be good for me. But my point, Harrison, and I eventually do get to my point, my listeners will tell you that, is that it was an absolute joy having you here. And I will say again, you're one of my favorite funny people. You are so funny in an original, dry way, and you're just the whole way you come across. I've always loved having him on the show.
Yeah.
Always. And I love now, too, that in Shrinking, people get to see you be so hilariously funny. Nope, wasn't written down. That was that was all genuine.
No, it's 10 times now. I've done it.
Oh, yeah.
I've done you 10 times.
I've done you 10 times.
Yeah, you are done.
That's it? 10?
Nah, just for me.
If this was... Hey, if this were it, I would be quite happy. I would be quite happy with that. Seriously, it's...
No, it was fun for me, too.
You know what? It's an honor to know you and a blast. And God, you make me laugh. So thank you very much for doing this. And I'll be by in about 48 hours.
I'm counting on it.
No, you'll be there waiting.
To turn you away.
To turn me away. Personally turn me away. It's been a while since, in the old days, they would throw a guy out of a bar by grabbing the back of his shirt and his belt and throw him out. That is how Harrison is going to throw me off of his property.
What a way to go.
Man, no, nothing like that. You're a big guy. I'm an old man.
Oh,
would never happen.
You could beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
No.
Trust me.
No.
Yeah.
I say we never do this, but round of applause for Harrison Ford. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Seriously.
thank you.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's it?
You're free to go.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Right.
I don't know why you're crying.
I'm happy.
Oh, good.
I'm glad I came. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
And you got a friend.
Thank you. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What about us?
Yeah.
Don't push it.
No.
No.
Fair.
I think that's a smart choice.
Yeah.
Honestly. I respect that.
Oh, good. He's taking a drink of water. I'm going to get a question in. So, oh my God, he's not swallowing. Harrison. This behavior is not worthy of you. A man of your stature, all you've achieved, this is not worthy of you.
We should also mention that he's been eating those little cuties, those little orange slices this whole
the
time.
smallest orange I've ever seen. Make a tiny mini nectarine.
Yeah.
A
It's
tangelo, if
adorable.
you will. And you've been eating it section by section.
Little cuties,
Yeah.
they're called.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's what I do.
Are you glad he finally piped up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't this worth it?
Incredible comment about little cuties.
Great.
Think if we didn't have that, think what would we do? What would we
Just
do?
trying to paint a picture for the listener.
I think that's very good. If only there were cameras here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why are there cameras here? This is on the...
This is just for tax purposes. I need to be able to show that we made a podcast.
Okay.
And then we get to write it off because I monetize everything. I now own your likeness because you've been on the podcast. And you need to buy it back from me for the new Indiana Jones film to come out. That's how smart I am. That's what makes me different from other people in this business. I'm a real whiz, Harrison. A real whiz.
Wow. Wow.
I saw you at a party recently.
No.
Yeah, I did. I did. And
I
remember.
I saw you too.
Thank you. I was glad you saw me.
You're hard to miss.
I'm hard to miss.
Yeah.
I kind of stand out, don't I?
Stand up. You stand up.
But I just was in a silly mood, and it was fantastic because I walked up to you and I said, I think I'm the new Harrison Ford. And you gave me that great look. And you said, fuck you, I'm Harrison Ford. And I said, well, you've been Harrison Ford for a long time, but there's time for a new one, and it's me. And you said, okay, you can have it. And I thought that was a verbal agreement that maybe I take over.
Oh, what a waste.
What are you talking about? I have the gravitas.
Oh,
I have the
no.
bearing.
What will you do with it?
I would try to, keep the different franchises going.
Oh no!
Why?
You as Han Solo?
Yeah.
No.
Let's stop this right
Okay,
now.
yeah.
Where was this party? Where was this alleged party?
This was a party, alleged party. You were there. This is a party that was a lot of the Shrinking Gang was there, and which, by the way, you are hilarious on that show. That's a fantastic part, and you play it beautifully. And we had a nice time at that party. A bunch of the Shrinking cast was there, and
I remember it now clearly. Clearly,
you were there.
You were there,
and I think you were having maybe a tequila, and I was having
maybe
a little bit of
orange juice.
Okay, or it was orange juice. They're very easy to mistake orange juice for tequila in a shot glass. But anyway, I thought we had a real moment there. I thought that you enjoyed my company, and I hate to make this all about me when you've had this incredibly storied career.
I know where you live, and it's not very far from where I live.
Uh-huh.
You could walk over to my house anytime.
Is it true?
No, because
I could walk to your house, but would I get in if the doorbell rang?
No, you would walk back. But at least you'd make an effort.
I'd make an effort.
And if you really wanted me to notice the roundness of this, if you really wanted me to be your friend, but you didn't.
And it's over now. I had my chance.
No, I think this is your chance. I think you can still redeem yourself.
Oh. Well, how's it going so far?
I have friends like you.
Okay.
I really, I mean,
you're circus people? What?
No,
you have no friends like me.
I've always liked you. I liked you. That's why I did your show.
Many times.
Many times.
Yeah.
I did it like, twice?
Oh, no.
4 or 5 times.
You did my show 9 times. You did my show. You have.
And you
right here.
Write my name.
9 times.
Really?
Did show
Wow.
9 times. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
You did it 9 times. And you were unfailingly very funny every time.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things you ever did was we have this person who our fans know very well named Jordan Schlansky, who's a Star Wars obsessive. And he had built a Millennium Falcon out of Legos. And it took him 9 months to build this thing.
Yeah.
And he brought it out and gave a long speech to you about the meaning of his Millennium Falcon.
One of the pieces of memorabilia in my collection, in fact, the flagship piece, is a Lego Millennium Falcon that I put together in 2010. They're selling for about $5,000 now, and it took about 60 man-hours to create. And I display it with pride, but it would really mean the world to me if Harrison could sign it.
Is that okay, Harrison? Wow.
Sure.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Now, it's very delicate.
A long time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I have a sharp.
That's bad.
And handed it to you. And you threw it up over your head. And it landed on the floor and shattered in a million pieces. And it was the greatest day of my life.
And then he picked up a piece and then signed it.
And you signed it for him. And it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. And by the way, it's a clip online that people adore. They just adore it. It was just a magical moment. And I thank you for that.
Well, those of you at home who don't know how these things work, let me point out that this was a scripted bit.
Yes, it was.
He didn't build the damn thing. Somebody else.
Okay.
in the prop department.
This is why.
Built the damn thing over probably took him 3 weeks. He probably had to take it home and ask his kid to help him put it together.
Yeah.
And then you built this whole shtick around it, and you made suggested that it would be funny.
Yes.
If I destroyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I will make it clear. And first of all, this is why you've never.
And you were right.
It was funny.
Yeah. Cruel.
I'm cruel.
But funny.
I'd like to point out that you'd be terrible working with a magician. Because the magician would come out and do a trick where he saws the lady in half and then puts her back together again. And just as the crowd is applauding, Harrison Ford walks out and says, "Excuse me, I'd like to point out that this was all a sad sham. This woman secreted herself into the first half of the box, and those legs are fake." I have picture you as a terrible, terrible magician's assistant. But yes, you just exposed my little trick that delighted millions.
And you've just explained to me why people never do imitations of me.
I was just trying to get my voice into a male register. That's all I was trying to do. All I was trying to do.
You tried.
I tried. The only way I can sound like a man is to get down here. And then I'm either Nixon or Harrison Ford. And I am neither one.
The best thing that I've learned over the years when you're writing it and shooting it and then editing it, it just keeps changing each time. And then what I always do, and it drives everybody nuts, but it's true, is I'll sit down and say, okay, so you just saw the latest episode of Barry. You go to a bar and you're sitting with your friend, and your friend goes, "Oh, you just watched the latest episode of Barry?" "Yes." And they go, "What's it about?" "What do you say?" You know what I mean? And it's like, well, it's about a guy, and like that order and that of the information is how we should probably lay the story out. And it'll be interesting as they'll tell the story and it's going smoothly, and then you go, "That's great, but you've never once mentioned Fuchs." So we got to go back and make it so you can't talk about it without mentioning him. Or you'll talk about the whole thing, like, "That's great, but you never once mentioned Barry," which happened season 2. We had a whole episode that I wasn't in.
Right.
And Alec Berg and I went, "You're not in the show."
It's my favorite episode.
Yeah, it's my favorite episode. He goes, "You're in 2 scenes."
That's the only one I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Emmy winner.
Yeah. I thought Henry was Barry. I'm Barry? People are always like, "What's it like working with Henry Winkler?" And it really is all about the cake that he brings to set. He just brings bundt cake. I'm like, "Henry, you're losing your mind in this scene, and you're on the verge of," and he's like, "And then after that, can I give the crew the bundt cake?" Like, Robert Wisdom's going to scream at you and make you cry. And he's like, right. Well, I have the coffee and the bundt cake. Right over, and he has a story about everything. Right over in this corner, Gene Shalit attacked me. Or whatever it is. He wasn't attacked by
He
Gene
was one
Shalit.
of the first celebrities I saw when I came out to L.A. with Greg Daniels in 1985. We went to some thing, and one of the first celebrities, not beef, but one of the first celebrities, and you have to remember, you guys are too young, but Happy Days in the 70s was the biggest thing in the world, and the Fonz was the biggest part of Happy Days. And in my school, in my English class, there was a big poster of the Fonz on the wall. The teacher had put it up just to like try and pacify us. He was such a big thing. So I get to L.A.
This'll calm them down.
Hey.
How do we calm these children down?
Maybe Farrah Fawcett?
And they're like, "Yes. Here's a picture of Abraham Lincoln."
Here's one of the Three Stooges.
No!
The Fonz.
Look at them, sir.
But we went to some event, and I couldn't believe it. But everyone was going to their cars, and like this big, almost like a station wagon pulled up. The valets brought up a station wagon, and it was raining really hard. and one of the windows had been left open, and Henry Winkler came out to claim the car, and his wife was getting in the car, and he opened up the back seat, and he took like this big rag and started wiping the water off the back seat, and I thought, what's the Fonz doing? He's some schlub wiping water off the back seat of a station wagon.
Yeah. And
what happened?
He jumped in the car. He quickly went, "Hey!" And then I got him. It is him. No, he's the sweetest guy on the planet.
Very sweet.
He's a very nice guy, and so he's a guy that you can also, when I would on set be kind of overwhelmed or whatever. He would always be like, "I just want you to know you're doing a wonderful job," and he would walk away.
That's
and
so
I was
nice.
like, "That's sweet."
It's interesting that my son and I are such Barry fanatics that we last year decided we need to go back and rewatch them all. We did that before the last season. So we went back and watched all of them again. And what struck me was how there's an arc to the tone of the show that's very organic. It's a compliment.
Yeah.
But if you watch the first Barry, second Barry, third Barry, it's much lighter. And then and it's almost, when you start down this path, and I was loving it, the tone starts to gradually change, but it's subtle. And now, if you look at where we are now, you can't believe the arc. You can't believe where you started, which to me is a real achievement.
Yeah, that kind of was, when you're writing it, you kind of start with this kind of idea that is kind of on the face of it could be a very kind of glib idea. And then when you try to do it realistically, you kind of move on, and then it's finding it and you go, oh, this is like, this is the tone of the show. And I think there was just some touchstones. I mean, one in season 1 was when Barry is in the car with his friend Chris, and he has a choice to like kill him or not. And he kills him, and there's no joke after that. And I remember being in the edit and going, Alec Berg directed that episode, and we were going, well, the next scene is like a comedy scene. What do we do let's just put it in there and see what happens. And it didn't hurt anything, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. We can do that. So it was a bit like having some sort of machine that you went, well, we're still afloat. We're on a boat and we're trying all these things and we haven't sunk yet. So let's try that. We can go in that direction. But a thing I always thought of as we were moving forward was the movie Rosemary's Baby. If you watch that movie, starts off very purposely like a Doris Day movie.
Yep.
It starts off, there's nothing, overtly creepy about it. It's like a very nice couple buying a place, an apartment, and at the Dakota, and it kind of moves forward. And then as it's happening, the tone starts to slowly shift, in a way. And so that's always stuck with me in that, to what you're talking about. But then I don't know about you, you've experienced this too. When you're writing something, you're kind of like, it's how you meet people too. It's like we're writing the character and you're meeting all these characters, and it's how you meet somebody. It's kind of superficial, and you have your initial take on them or impression of them. And then as you hang out with them, you start to get to know them better, and they just become, slowly and increasingly more complicated, and it's just trusting that. And then also, I think the other thing I'll say is when you're dealing with murder, it was very hard for me to be funny about it. It could be strange, but it was hard for me to have someone get, the Janice Moss character get killed and then kind of forget about it. And I was like, no, when she dies, it's for the whole show. Like, you can never forget about her. Every episode she's mentioned, because I think that's what happens when someone loses somebody. And so you would be in the writer's room and everybody's going, what was the comedy? And it was like, no. But we got to hold on to that. We have to hold on to that and just trust that it'll work.
But also, is it a comedy? Why does it have to be a comedy?
Yeah, that was in their room.
Be...
That's true. Yeah, that's funny you say that, because I just did it. But I do, I've been doing a ton of press, so I'm a little tired. But
so why was the last piece of press you did? Literally, this is the last thing you want to do.
No, I have more press. I have more press after this.
I've done just about every shitty thing you can think of.
I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. They reintroduced me to shows that were canceled. I just did Regis. I just went to Bonnie Hunt's house. I just said, Bonnie, let me tell you about Barry. And she said, I don't have a show. And I was like, listen, Katie Couric, she doesn't want to hear all these people. They don't know. They don't know me. I said, why didn't you get the episode?
I saw you on Hannity.
Yeah, I was on Hannity. Yeah. I was like, look at me when you talk to somebody. When you talk to a man, you look at him. No, but it is a thing you get a lot of, which is this a comedy or not? And it's like, we're just telling a story.
It's so funny because this season of Barry starts off in this very dark place. And then, I'm not giving anything away, but at one point, NoHo Hank is with his partner, and they have a cut to him, and he's wearing this hat and these glasses, and I lost it. It's such a funny, and so to me, this idea that things can be incredibly dark, but then and to me, it makes the funny much funnier.
Yeah. Also, if what we learned was that as long as it stayed within that character, where you would say, well, NoHo Hank, this is what he would wear in Santa Fe.
Yes. Yeah.
This is what he would want to wear. That's what he's wearing, which we always thought was very funny. So it's always like when it comes out of honesty, it kind of works. And the things that wouldn't work was when I would, hand of God, comedy nerd, try to come in and create something that wasn't coming organically out of a situation or the characters, and that was usually the stuff we would lose.
The thing that imprinted on me when I was young, I would say, to my influences when I was very young was Bob Newhart, yourself, and that amazing Carol Burnett show.
Wow.
And Warner Brothers cartoons. And I think you can take those three, and no offense to Bob, but if I had to, he can drop out and it'll just be Warner Brothers cartoons and you. And I know Bob well enough to be able to say that. But that's all the comedy class you need in timing, and just the joy of performing comedy. So that was in me somewhere. I had just watching you do your thing, and it wasn't just the sketches. You did something that was very unusual at the time. Question and answer. You did a Q&A segment on the Carol Burnett show, and I remembered that blew my mind that you could stand out there in front of people, not hide behind a character, and talk to people, and you'd see real people in the audience ask you questions. Yeah. I maintain, and I've said this before to people, human beings have this crazy ability to know when something is organic. They know when it's rehearsed, and they know when it's spontaneous. I don't know why we know, but we do. And I would watch those segments and see you be funny in the moment in front of, back then, half the country is watching. And I thought, where did that come from? The guts to do that on CBS, one of the most watched shows on television, that walking without a net on a tightrope.
Well, what happened was when we were going to do the show, the executive producer, Bob Banner, said, Carol, instead of having a comic come out and warm up the studio audience, you should come out as yourself before you get into all those sketches with your fat suits and blacked out teeth and fright wigs and all of that, so that they get to know you and just open it up to Q&A. And I said, I don't think I can do that. I mean, I'd be too frightened. I'd be afraid that they wouldn't ask anything, or that if they did, I wouldn't have a good answer. And he said, well, we'll put some plants in the audience, and have. I said, no, if we're going to do it, and if I have egg on my face, at least they'll know it's real.
You can't fake that.
Got to be real. So then I said, okay, we'll do like the first 4 shows, 4 weeks. And if it's terrible, it's goodbye. We won't do it anymore. So I went out there. First show, I was terrified. And some people did ask a question or two, but I mean, if you look at the first episode, it was really goofy. It wasn't that good, but then it aired, and then the next week, some people would come and they were ready to ask questions and ready, and then I started to get into the groove and love it, and it became one of my favorite things to do, and it was great because I would do maybe about 15 minutes. And then we do the show. If the show was long, we'd only have maybe 5 minutes of Q&A, or if it was short, we would do the whole 15 minutes. But some of the stuff that we did, that people were just wonderful. There was this one woman, her name, she looked like B. Arthur when B did Maud.
Yes. Kind of imposing, a little fierce.
Yeah. And she got up, she raised her hand, and I called on her, and she said, "I want to come up and sing." And I said, "Come on up," Well, she was up there like that, and I said, "What's your name?" And I remember she said, "Terry McCann." And I said, "So what do you want to sing, Terry?" And we had a 28-piece orchestra over there. She said, looked at the band, and she said, "You made me love you in the key of G."
You made me love you.
And the audience was laughing, and she went, okay. And then she started, "You made me love you. I didn't want it." She was good.
Yeah.
Now I came in and I started to join with her.
Yeah.
So we were wailing away, and really, because I knew the song, she knew the song, and the audience was clapping, it was all. And then comes to where we're going to end it, right? Uh-huh. I had a different way that I thought it should end from what she is. So I went, "You made me love you."
Yeah.
I wanted that. She had a different way. So after all this wailing, clapping, and everything, it was kind of petered out, And she looked at me and she said, "You screwed it up."
I love that it's the Carol Burnett show, and she's whatever she is.
No,
Millie O'Sullivan is telling you screwed up.
Maybe it was actually B. Arthur.
Yeah, it was B. Arthur in a wig.
Well, you know what? Later on, I heard from some of her relatives, about maybe 5 years ago, she died at the age 100, and they played this at her memorial.
Oh. I was thinking about when you just said you had a 28-piece orchestra.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it because I want to get this straight. The show that you did, which ran on CBS from 1967 to 1978, it won 25 Emmys.
What?
And it could not exist today.
No.
It doesn't, that world doesn't exist anymore. You had a 28-piece orchestra, and you had 65 to 70 costumes a week. And
do the math. In 11 years,
Yeah.
Bob Mackey designed over 17,000 costumes.
Jesus. But I mean, it was a time when I don't think we'll see that again, where you had a large portion of the country watching. And that meant, because of the advertising power and the star power of the people that would come by, it worked out. It was very different. And what's happening now to Variety is it just is getting, you have that feeling every now and then you'll pick up a magazine at the newsstand and it weighs next to nothing because everything's online. And it's a magazine that's a famous magazine that's been around forever, and it's glossy, but it weighs, it's like 15 pages long. And I think that's what's happening in a lot of talk and Variety too, is it's unimaginable to have.
Also, when we were casting and everything, and I was fortunate enough to get Harvey, who was brilliant. And so Tim didn't come on the show as a regular till the 9th season.
It's so funny. Most people don't know that. Harvey Korman always knew, and I was lucky enough to have him on the show, and he came on and lay on the couch like it was a psychiatrist's couch. And he was wearing like a safari jacket, and I was crying. I was laughing so hard. And then Tim, we were lucky enough to have him on a bunch of times. But You think of Tim as always being there. 9th season.
Yeah, but we had him on as a regular guest quite often, but he was doing other shows. He had a Tim Conway Variety Hour at one point, but nothing that he ever did lasted more than 13 weeks.
Yeah.
He even had his license plate, 13 weeks. But one of my favorite Conway stories is he did a film comedy called Rango.
Yeah.
And it was film where he was this inept cowboy.
Yeah.
Tim needs an audience where he can just go and so they're filming and it was not good. It was not good that he was kind of hornswoggled. He couldn't do what he usually did.
He's in a vacuum because he's on a film set.
So now they're on location, and this guy from ABC is going to come and tell Tim that the show is canceled. But Tim didn't know it yet. So he's in his motorhome and he's changing for the next scene and whatever. And there's a knock on the thing. And the guy who came in from ABC was very nervous. It was like he was an underling, and he said, "Hi." He said, "Oh, Mr. Conway, I'm Warren Tart. I'm from ABC." And Tim said, "Yes, hi." And he said, "Well, stop doing this."
Stop doing this?
Oh, my God.
Stop doing this.
Oh, no. Stop doing this. That's how they canceled him.
I was told stop doing this many times, and I never listened. I think that's the magic, is you just don't listen. You get on this terrific TV show in a role that just was perfect for you, this great role as April in Parks and Rec. And so I'm just curious, how did that happen? How did you get that part?
It's a weird series of little things that happen, but that specifically was because I don't even know how to start. But basically, I came out to LA because I was up for Judd Apatow's movie Funny People, which I got, but he was trying to cast a completely unknown comedian. That's a whole different story, but where he wanted to cast a stand-up comedian, and I wasn't doing stand-up, but I was doing improv and sketch comedy at UCB.
Right.
But I basically pretended to be a stand-up to get that part or whatever, and then Allison Jones was casting that movie, and I didn't have an agent at the time, but because I made it up the ranks of the audition process for that, I flew out to LA for 1 week to do a chemistry read with Seth Rogen. And then while I was in LA, Allison Jones was like, "Would you mind going on a couple other meetings? And how do you feel about that?" And I had no idea what was going on because I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, I had nothing going on for me. In New York, I was doing comedy stuff, but I was like, sure, I'll go to whatever meeting you want, lady. I don't give a shit. And then so she basically said, she was like,
this is infuriating any actor out
I know,
there.
believe me, I know.
There's so many starving actors out there I'm sorry, I'm Allison Jones, a top casting director. Would you go on a few big-time reads? Hey, lady, I don't know. I got nothing to do. I don't give a shit.
First of all,
fuck off.
I was kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Second of all,
I know.
Allison Jones changed my life, okay? As I'm sure she's changed so many people's lives. But not everyone, went to whatever. You know what she did. But she
went to the devil and signed a contract in 1993.
You know what
That's what I did.
You know what you did.
I know what I did.
But so she was like, I'm going to send you on these couple meetings or whatever. One of them is with the creators of The Office. And The Office was on the air at the time, and it was huge. And so I was like, yeah, I'll go meet the Office people. I don't give a shit, lady. But I was in LA for the first time. So I was like, LA, I was wearing jean shorts. I was like, I didn't realize the weight of that meeting. And then, so I went to the set of The Office. It was somewhere in the fucking valley, or I don't even know where I was. But all I remember is I went into, I think it was Mike Schur's office. And I kept seeing the actors from The Office, Mindy Kaling and BJ Novak, and people walking by, and I'm like, oh my God, those are the people in The Office. And he was like, that's because we're on the set of The Office. And I was like, this is crazy, dude. And then and then we were waiting for Greg Daniels, and then Greg came in, and again, they hadn't written the pilot at that point. They were just talking about they had Amy, and they were talking about the ideas for the pilot or something, and then I don't know, I don't even know what I did in that meeting. Mike Schur says like she was the weirdest person I ever met. I wasn't being weird, okay? I don't even know what I was doing, but Greg came in, and then you know how weird Greg is, and then
yes, I do.
Greg and I like immediately we literally started talking about the meaning of life. I don't even know what we were talking about. It was like we were high or something. Like he came in and he was like, what happens after you die? I'm like, okay, this is what I've been saying. I don't know, dude. Like, what do you think? And then we were like,
this is Greg's process, by the way. This is how he casts. Steve Carell apparently was awful in his audition, but then had a really good theory for what lies at the end of the universe. And Greg, that's what Greg wanted to know.
All I remember is like, I have an image of Greg like, I want to say he was like doing a Rubik's Cube. That he wasn't, but I want to say he was like knitting something, or I don't know.
He was. If it was Greg, he was probably knitting a Rubik's Cube.
Okay, he was like knitting a Rubik's Cube.
A functional Rubik's Cube.
He wasn't making a lot of eye contact, and I just remember he was like, I don't know, and I was looking at him, and I was like, this guy is fucking really weird. And then we were talking, and then Mike was just watching it like, what am I watching here? And then he was basically, then he started telling me the idea for the show. And he was like, Amy's going to have an assistant, and maybe she's going to be like this. And then I was like, that's a stupid idea or something. Not really, but I was basically like, oh, like, she should have an assistant that's like a college intern that's like really smart, that is just doing it for credit and like hates everybody, but like is good at her job but doesn't give a shit about it or something. I pitched him the character, basically. And then he was like, okay. And then and then that was it. And then I heard
I told Greg Daniels exactly what my character was and how it would fit into this show, and he went, okay.
Whatever.
No, I don't know. I'm pretty
cool.
sure that's what happened. And then I pitched him that, and then basically I found that was it. And then I left, and I'm like, well, that was weird. And then basically a couple weeks later or something, they called me. They're like, you're in this show. And I think the original pilot that they wrote, the character's name was Aubrey. It was just Aubrey in the pilot.
Right.
And then when NBC, I guess, was going to sign off on me, they made me audition to play myself.
Yeah.
They were like, you got to audition now. I'm like, to play myself? Like,
Right.
I hope I get the part. Like, then I went in and did an audition where I don't even know what I did. And then they changed it into April, and then that was it. And I'm like, great. I didn't even want to be on TV. I was trying to be in movies, bro.
Let me just say one thing, because it's just that sometimes the universe, everything comes together in too nice a way. Greg Daniels, who is running The Office, and with Mike Schur, he's doing Parks and Recreation. He and I started out in the business together. Just quick disclosure, as writing partners, and we've been friends forever. And we text each other all the time. And Greg I love him, and he's brilliant and really super funny. His mind works differently. This is a text I got on my way this morning to Larchmont to come do this podcast, not knowing that Greg's name would even come up. I'm just going to, talk to Aubrey. I get this text out of the blue from Greg. I haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks, and I just get this text. How you doing? I had a weird dream you hurt your left hand. Hope you're great. I just picked up my phone and was like, okay, you brought up Greg. I've got to.
I don't know. That sounds sexual.
I know. So I'll be calling him later to find out exactly what happened in his dream.
Your left hand jerking me off. What's up? It's me, Greg. Remember us?
You
jerk off Greg Daniels?
In the dreams, we both. It's a. What the hell happened here?
You numbed your left hand for the stranger.
Yeah, what were you doing with your left hand? Greggy.
Man.
Little Greggy?
Yeah, exactly. Not little Greggy. It's made of concrete, that thing. It broke my hand.
God, you guys are sick.
You're sick. You did this. You introduced that whole image and then circled around and accused me of being a perv.
It's really you two weird Catholics at the end of the table.
I know.
Doing all of
I know.
If it's wrong, it feels so good. Right, Conan?
Well, that's interesting. That's fascinating. When you got this part, and then you're off and running. You're off and running.
I got that part. I got Funny People, and I got Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, directed by Edgar Wright, in 1 week.
Oh my God!
When does that happen? Man, I was in the right time, in the right place, in the right jean shorts.
I just realized that when I auditioned for the late night show in '93, I was wearing very short jean shorts.
Oh, really?
I think that.
Remember when I first met you for this podcast?
You were wearing super short jean shorts.
Right. Hey, you got to show a little leg, baby.
It's a little bit more than that. You gotta show that little undershelf. You know,
you want to play in the big leagues.
That little overhang
up a
that
little
Tom
bit.
Cruise climbs in Mission Impossible.
I learned
oh my
that.
God.
Yep. I was lucky. I was a lucky little waitress from Queens.